This version of It's Eric Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
This episode of It's Eric Nagel brought to you by 22 Sierra Coffee. Listeners of It's Eric Nagel can get 15% off their order by using promo code ERIC, that's E-R-I-K, at checkout, 22sierracoffee.com. Use the promo code ERIC for 15% off.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready?
It's Eric Nagel. And it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Eric Nagel.
And thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. Yes, I am, unfortunately to you, Eric Nagel. And over there in the frozen tundra known as Arizona, say hello to Jordan.
Hey, everybody.
If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to the show in your own time, when it's more convenient for you, Apple, Spotify, places of that nature, do us a kindness, go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. And if you're joining us live as we do the show each and every week, head over to our live rooms on YouTube and on Twitch, all under It's Eric Nagel, where feel free to throw your money in the air and spend it like you just don't care with super chats and whatever to keep Jordan swimming in Legos.
And just finished one the other day.
Collectibles that he chooses to enforce self-love instead of maybe taking care of his kids or something.
We're imposing a tariff on our listeners.
Fair enough. Seems to be the things that we're doing now in this country. So yeah, go over there, and if you're joining us, we did the live thing, and if you haven't had a chance to watch any of this live, go over to the YouTube channel. All the episodes are there for you to enjoy when it works for you. And joining us also is our friend Keanu. Uh-oh, hold on. She says
me.
There you go.
I muted myself. Hi, how are you?
You did that.
Hello.
Keanu is back. The Instagram, the X, the Twitter, the YouTube, all under Keanu C. Thompson. Go give her a follow. And of course, she is the host with her mom, Michaeline, of the Keanu Cast.
That is me.
Out everywhere you get fine podcasts, and then the video versions also up on her YouTube channel.
I was going to say, are we jumping to the blue sky as well, like everybody else? Are you going to be doing that too?
Yes, the blue sky, the red note, the lemonade, all of those things that don't matter.
The blue sky? Yeah.
Everyone wants to be on blue sky now, but no one's using it. It's like everything else.
It is. It was a good idea, but if you missed Twitter from 12 years ago, that format, then you're in luck. You can time travel and go back to when there was no features on there that you actually wanted on the platform, and it's still that terrible gray and blue aesthetic.
And it looks sort of the same.
A little bit,
sort of, but it's still just. It's not where it's a ghost town. If you go over there, it's a ghost town. It just doesn't seem to. They're trying. Celebrities are trying. News outlets are trying. People are trying to get everyone to go over there. It's just not harnessing the community that they were hoping for. At least not yet. But you could say not yet, considering the thing's been around for 5 years now.
I would say by the end of these 4 years that are happening, we might see an uptick. But yeah. I don't know yet. We'll see.
I don't know.
It's the first we are really hearing of it. It's been around for 5 years. Huh.
Yeah, I think 2 years, 3 years ago, Gittles was trying to give us like invites.
Isn't it? What's his name from Twitter? Didn't he start Blue Sky?
Yeah, he went over and started this one. Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? Jack.
Yes.
Jack is the Twitter guy. Tom's the MySpace guy.
Tom.
Oh, we miss Tom.
And I watched a clip today that the guy thought the head of Facebook and Instagram was Mark Wahlberg. And he was serious. He was an older guy, had no idea, and he kept saying Mark Wahlberg. And then somebody had to correct him and said it's Mark Zuckerberg. And he's like, right, Mark Wahlberg. And it's
Mark Wahlberg, Wahlburgers, Mark Zuckerberg, right. Facebook.
I don't know. I kind of like the other way around, where instead of like a status update, it just says, "How's your mother?" And then you just gotta fill in whatever you're doing.
Mark in the Facebook bunch. Yeah.
That's hilarious. It would be. How's your mother?
How's your mother? Well, like, she's good. She's doing 500 different surveys right now and giving up all her data.
Correct. Or the new one that's going around nationwide is that, do you know you owe about $6 on your Easy Pass?
Oh, that one. I got a text for that. I'm like, I'm nowhere near.
So now it started, I guess, in the Northeast, like in the Massachusetts area. And then it went to like 7 or 8 random states around the country. And now it's starting to spread more. So much that every national news has done a piece on it saying, do not click the link. It'll just access your bank information. They already had 1 or 2 people that had their accounts drained because they clicked the link, went into it, put their banking information in there to like their debit card to pay the toll. And they just cleaned out the accounts.
Oh my God.
It's getting so bad. Like I got that text when I was picking up the kid and we're driving back and it popped up on the screen on the car and he goes, I guess they're fishing for stuff. I'm like, yeah, you get that too at 8 years old. Like, how are people falling for this?
I get, even if it's legitimate things, like there's something where maybe a doctor's thing that you needed to pay a copay or something small, right? They can text me all they want. I will not respond until I get an email that I can prove is them, or they actually call me saying you owe this amount. Okay, great. We've been trying to reach you for weeks. Oh, how are you doing that? We were sending you text. Yeah, I don't answer those. It's all blocked. So
you can't. We get millions of those weird text messages all the time saying something like click on this for. I have to tell Michaeline this also, just because my mom.
She's old.
She's old.
Yeah, because I went and told my mom. I said, "Hey, here's a new thing." She sends me those emails that she gets that. They're saying that I owe like $700 to Best Buy, but I don't think I have. No, you don't have a Best Buy.
It's not an old thing. I got one, and I thank God I asked my brother. I went, Amazon said that if I don't do this, like my Amazon will be canceled. He's like, don't click on that, you idiot. Yeah. But it's they make it sneaky now, so it's not. I
usually get the ones where it's telling me that my package has been delayed at customs. I'm like, what am I getting? Nothing. Everything's from Amazon.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get those all the time. And it's because our data was leaked, but not by TikTok, you psychopaths.
Jay Shep, our old pal, is in the chat here saying, I get 10 calls a day saying I've been approved for smart loans. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't get the calls. I get the texts. I get a lot of, I get stuff about medical records or other kinds of bills. And as you're reading it, you see the misspellings. And you see where it's coming out. And I always, most of the time, I just hit the feature. I have the iPhone. So at the bottom, it says report delete. You click that link and hopefully Apple does something with it. I don't think they do. But once in a while, I'll just send the black middle finger emoji to them. And I never hear from them again. But yeah, the newest scam right now is that your Easy Pass, Sun Pass, whatever type of traffic pass that you have for whatever region of the country you're in, you're starting to get notices that you missed an exit or you owe, and it's a small amount.
It's always $6. It was $6. The two that I got were always like, it's like $6.
Yeah. Like some of the ones they were saying were ranging from 6 to 11. So it's a small amount and believable, so it's not like you owe $54 from like you missed 18 exits that you went through and what have you. It's small enough to be kind of believable. People click on the link and then you're already fucked because they're doing something with your phone, getting your Apple Pay, your Google Pay, all of that stuff. But nonetheless, Keanu is here. Last week she was here with us for a little bit and then had the jet. We were talking about.
I have much more time this time.
I know you got about an hour.
10, yeah. But even after, no worries at all.
You'll leave when I tell you can leave. Get out now. You're done.
I'll show my
to me too all the
time. She was here last week when we were going over a bunch of celebrity, depending on who views them as that. People who were saying things and posting videos and were coming off very tone deaf. You were here for a couple of them. I don't know if you saw the clip that we put up with the montage of all of them.
Yes.
But when we got to the Cheryl Burke clip, she had 9 videos I had to paste together into that one segment that we did. And it wasn't like I have a lot of these clothes that I get. And look, if she had said, look, I'm privy to a lot of clothes. I get endorsements or I get stuff sent to me, whatever. And I'd like that. I get it. It makes sense. You want to donate it. You're asking where to donate it to help. If you did the one, maybe the two saying, all right, I found a place. Thank you, everybody. That's fine. I have no problems with that. It still comes off a little but they're trying, right?
Yeah.
When she starts saying, well, these are clothes I normally would sell on Poshmark because that's what I do. And then it just became a whole advertisement for how she sells her clothes on Poshmark or Poshmark, right?
It's
Poshmark.
It was Poshmark.
So then she's showing you closets in a spare bedroom that are all full. There's so many clothes in here. I can't even open the door. And you're like, I hate you so much with all of this. You've lost any kind of goodwill that you might have gained from the first video that you were trying to do something noble.
Well, before she started even going into that though, she started it off with saying that she was laying in bed and she was just paralyzed with what was going on. She's not even in the area. She's not even close to the fires.
You're paralyzed in a home.
She was marrying herself to the tragedy.
Yeah, that's what pissed me off.
She's like, I moved a year ago, and she goes, if I didn't leave, I could have been there.
I was just paralyzed.
This could have happened to me. And you're like,
oh my God,
that's what you're hoping? It's not like, hey, that whole neighborhood somehow was on an oil reserve and everyone became billionaires. And you go, I moved a year ago. I shouldn't have. That could have happened to me. That I understand. Right. You want to marry yourself to your neighborhood, which has been decimated. People, doesn't matter their economic, placement in this world, have lost everything there. And you're like, well, I could have lost everything too. I could have made this more about me.
I guess, but you know what? Keep it to yourself. Pop it up here. It's not meant for, and then do a video about, oh my God, I can't even get into this. My closet, it's so full of clothes that haven't burned up. Yeah,
and then she was showing the boxes that she had, and how I'm gonna pack them in the boxes. Then there was clips of her just walking down a hallway carrying baskets full of clothing and dumping them somewhere.
She filmed, she set up her camera at the end of the hallway, and then it's just her doing walk up toward the camera videos. I'm like, you really put a lot of production to being this altruistic, really, really making me hate you right now.
Yeah, by the ninth video, I was like, if I would have saw her in the street, I probably would have accidentally swerved into her.
Because here's the thing, Spencer doing what he's doing is what Spencer's always been doing. This is on brand for what he's been doing. Her doing this is ridiculous. Yeah, this is not your MO.
Yeah, Spencer is the original reality television show villain. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to. He doesn't know how to stay in the media, but he knows when something happens. He knows how to milk it for all it's worth.
Well, it's not hard to act retarded when you are. So then you're just, this was the role he was born to play.
Oh, absolutely.
We got more Spencer coming up in a little bit here because you missed a couple things and we'll rehash that. But I did want to talk about real quick because we found a couple other clips of celebrities coming off tone deaf. In Los Angeles, again, as we're going on today, more fires broke out.
Oh my God!
In Los Angeles, in different areas. One, what are they calling it? The Greg Opie Hughes fire is what they're calling it, and it's called the Hughes fire in Northern California, and it's I guess it's heading into the San Fernando Valley, which the only reason I know of that is because that's where porn happens. That was the area that porn where porn really came into its own in the 80s and the 90s. Everything was shot in those mansions and lavish houses in that area. But then there was sporadic other fires. There's one that's east of the east part of San Diego that's burning really fast. Those winds are back again.
Santa Ana winds. The
Santa Ana winds are going crazy. Now, on top of it, they have rain coming in about a day or two. And they were talking to some of the fire chiefs handling it in these areas. And they said, well, this is a good thing, right? And they said, well, we're monitoring it. And so far, yes. But the problem is, it should be enough to help put out the fires or control them at least. But if it keeps going, that whole area is charred. There's no stability in those hills. So everything that is just ashes is going to turn to clay and to mud and slide off of the mountains. And that barren area now is just going to have it's going to turn into Pompeii.
Oh
We're
my
just
God.
going to have a mudslide coming over, and it's going to be encapsulated in time in clay, and it'll become cement. And the Palisades, and I keep calling it Antipasta, but it's not that. It's not the Altadena, Altadena, Malibu, those areas will just be under a mudslide from a mass fire, flooding, and then all we need now is an earthquake to happen because they're due. And if I learned anything from SimCity on the Super Nintendo, Bowser's going to show up, or some sort of dinosaur creature is going to come up out of the ocean and stomp what's left. So we'll look to see how the rest of that goes for California. But our hearts and everything else go out for them. Oh, I had this up there. I'm going to put that up. If you want to feel like donating to the show, I mean, we're not going to stop you, but for this particular show, that QR code, where is it? Over there. Jordan, could you point to it? Other side. There you go. That QR code right there helps you donate to the SoCal Fire Fund. So if you want to throw a couple of bucks over that way to help them out with everything.
We're calling my PayPal now. Nice.
No. In fact, I'm going to put up another QR code next week to support a fund
money out of my
to
account.
burn down your Lego collection.
No. So expensive.
But we'll leave that up there because, it's the right thing to do. It's the tasty way to do it. Wait, no, that was oatmeal. It's the right thing to do. And also that if we get any pushback from other celebrities or fans for the clips we did last time, we're doing it for a good cause. So go fuck yourself. All right. We are covered. We got the Spencer stuff to get to in just a little bit here. The chat's looking good. People are coming in. Everything's all hunky-dory. Fantastic. Let's see right here. Oh, big news. Big breaking news here.
Uh-oh.
Good news. The Canadian all-dress chips that Tom from Alberta imports to us shall remain tariff-free.
Yeah, well, he smuggles them across the border for us.
He does. It's in a situation of Smokey and the Bandit when they were hauling cores from Texarkana and had the police chief chasing him through states where he didn't have jurisdiction, but just decided to go on an interstate journey. Tom does that with his truck, except nobody is chasing him and nobody cares. But he's still running 88 miles an hour, thinking his truck is going to time travel down the highway through horrible conditions, and drops them off somehow at Jordan's house, and then he has to mail them to me.
Yeah, it's great.
Fantastic. All right. How are you doing, Keanu, before we get into everything else? You doing all right?
Just living life like it's golden. Yeah.
No more scandals? You're not fighting with anybody?
Who was I? Who are you talking about?
Well, hold on. We can address this now. Let me bring in, say hello to Melody Mack. She's not there.
I don't want to burst into flames. So
I was debating. It's like, should I set her up for that? I would never do that, but
no.
That's why we don't make money like everybody else does. Because we're not ambushing everybody that we call friends. So
right.
Just
you've been arguing with
calling out a bit of hypocrisy, and that's all. And
what do we call a religious influencer?
Yes,
one of those.
I just have a, all right. Excuse me for not thinking that gay people are wrong.
Right.
I don't know. But apparently you can't say that, for a bunch of people that are all for free speech. I've been kind of, shat upon and ostracized for, making a joke about Jesus being gay. I'm like, Jesus, I don't think there's anything wrong with being gay. Just calling that, just saying, that's all.
How dare you?
How dare I? Listen,
gay, or as she calls them, the F word.
The F word, yeah, okay. Right.
Friends.
Right. Listen, like I say, there's a way to say everything.
Say that.
Yeah, right.
That won't get you kicked off. No. We met her at a mutual acquaintance's wedding, or at least that's when I met her. And
that's when I met her too. And
she's very nice, and I have no issues with her. And then seeing her material as of late and how it develops, and then I don't know how you played into this. Is this just something you picked up to talk about, or did something get called out on you and then you joined in?
I was on Simpcast, and forgive me for just calling out, like, I just don't think it's very Christ-like to, say nobody wants two F-slur daddies. Nobody wants, F-slur people should stay in the closet. And I said, you know what? And then making a joke, trying to make light of it, I said, nothing's gayer than Jesus. He washed 12 men's feet all of the time. There's nothing gayer than that. He was crucified in a mini skirt with a 6-pack abs. He's gay. Like, I was just making like sort of a joke about it because I don't think being gay is wrong. And I had unfollowed her a couple of months ago just because I just don't want to feel like I'm going to burst into flames, or my loved ones, my brother and his fiance, are going to burst into flames every time I look at her Twitter. I don't think she's a mean person in life. Yes, I've met her, and she was perfectly nice, but what's that?
You think she's doing a character? Mr. Imus does characters.
It is. It's a character, or as the kids say, a grift. So she doesn't actually believe that, but I think it's galvanizing people that are kind of maybe really do think
it's not
that it's
anything
wrong.
that hasn't been done before. You can go back to like the days of the PTL and Jimmy Swagger and Tammy and what's his name, Baker.
Right.
I'm spacing on his name,
Jim
but
Baker?
Yeah, Jim Baker. You have that kind of thing going on for the longest time, and it's not really done. I'll give her this. It's not really done right now. There aren't a lot of known people who were doing that old thing, and she might be the new poster person for it.
True. Well, is it a joke but she's like, no, I do believe that. Everyone needs to repent. Being gay is wrong.
Right.
And, video games with like slutty clothing, that's wrong. I'm tired of seeing this perversion. I mean, it's not like
that's where she lost me. Now
no, it's like, well, I mean,
can't
what
defend this anymore.
Yeah. And I don't dislike. Well, I mean, I don't dislike her in my personal interactions with her that are limited. I didn't think she was an idiot and a bigot.
GTA franchise. She's attacking Fortnite. She's attacking that dress wardrobe game that you play real late at night that I've never heard of.
Right. How dare you?
Right. Jay Shep saying she cosplays as a Tomb Raider. Or as Tomb Raider, not a Tomb Raider. Laura Croft. So she does. So Melanie does Laura.
Yeah.
Everything's all nuts.
Right. And right. So I was making a joke. God forbid I made a joke about Jesus being gay, because I don't think being gay is wrong. Oh my God. Jesus. So I've been canceled. I haven't. But.
By who? Who canceled you?
Right. The religious right, I guess.
Okay.
Good.
We all have to be somebody before we can get canceled. You can't cancel nobodies. It doesn't work that way.
How dare you?
All right. So, yeah, we're not going to go much more into that.
No one's canceled. Everything's fine. I'm just,
subscribe to the Keanu Cast. There you go.
Calling it like I see.
Block it.
All covered. Now, back to the celebrity stuff. Oh, yeah. We were talking about that. I was telling Jordan before the show, somebody wrote me to give me shit, one, because we were making fun of these celebrities, but apparently it was a fan of the Real Housewife franchises, right? Gave me shit that we were making fun of these people, but rightfully so. Who was the one that we were from the Housewife? Ramona,
the older one that was in Florida?
Yeah, the Ramona Singer, completely shitty person. Then we found out she's been caught multiple times, screaming the N-word on set during filming. Mm-hmm. So, screw her. But
it's her grift.
I didn't get the abbreviation for the franchise right. Somebody said, if you're going to make fun of people, at least get the name of the show right. And I didn't know. I wrote RHWNY because you think Real Housewives of New York. Not thinking of is a word that you abbreviate. It's RHONY.
RHONY.
Right.
Yeah,
so I said, thanks for the update. That's all I wrote to this person. And I'm like, well, that probably explains why I wasn't getting much attention. So I went and changed the tags. And then I started to see some of the numbers going up. I'm like, okay, I labeled it wrong. Come at me if I label it wrong. Perfectly fine. If you're going to yell at me for shitting on shows like this, they're all terrible people.
What I like is that there's a cross section of people who listen to this show that are also Real Housewife fans. Like, I would have never thought that cross section existed.
I don't think they are. I just think the algorithm was showing that because of the way it was tagged.
Weird.
That's it. But anyway, So we have another housewife here.
Ugh.
Her name is, where is her name? She's a terrible, like she looks like she has a lot of work done. Very,
They all do.
very leathery. Dorinda Medley.
Much.
Dorinda. Okay.
Dorinda Medley. She's from one of the seasons of RHONY, Real Housewives of New York. Now, this is a clip. She was on one of Andy Cohen's shows. It's the live one, I guess he does on Bravo.
Mhm.
And Andy starts the whole show, does the whole rigmarole. And as he's getting into the transition between the intro, pumping everybody up, and then talking to his panel, he takes a break, like like a lot of hosts, good hosts do, where they're talking about the stuff that's going on in LA and thoughts and prayers and all that stuff here. And then he turns to the housewives. One is from the New York series. One is from, I guess they do one in Salt Lake City.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So are they Mormons, or is it just Salt Lake City that they happen to?
That one I have never seen. RHONY isn't my like wheelhouse. Beverly Hills is the one I've seen the most of, and New York. But they're everywhere. There's like 6 or 7 of them. So, and I do think that there's a big Mormon aspect to the Salt Lake City one. So I've heard.
Okay. Well, this one, so it's somebody from Salt Lake City and Dorinda from the New York franchise. Check out how she handles her compassion, her empathy for what's going on in Los Angeles.
No.
Further, I just want to say our hearts are with everyone impacted by the terrible fires in Los Angeles right now. We are thinking of you and urging everyone to heed all safety warnings and evacuation orders. Thank you to the firefighters and first responders out there saving lives. And for those at home who want to help, you can donate to organizations like the California Fire Foundation, the Red Cross, and World Central Kitchen. So sad.
My press week got canceled. I mean,
right.
Go. It's bad. I woke up and I couldn't believe it.
It's terrible. Terrible.
Thoughts and prayers to Doritos over there.
No.
I woke up. My press week was canceled. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Oh my God. And you know what? I almost couldn't get my Chanel dry cleaned. What?
She rolls her eyes like, ugh. And then she just stares out into space. Like, I can't believe this has happened to me.
Do you think it was one of those situations where she's like, why did I say that? I wish I could just put it back into.
No, she has no idea. Because I skimmed the rest of the episode, seeing if that maybe like later, sometimes, they come back, especially on a live show. Hey, I just want to apologize. I'm seeing everybody was taking this wrong way. I said it the wrong way. That's not what I meant. I skimmed through the whole episode. First time I actually sat through a whole episode. No retraction, no nothing, no sense of I may have fucked up here.
Look at her face. She's like,
She has no idea. She's like, I'm not being talked to, so what do I do?
I think she's like,
she's had so much work done, she doesn't know how to emote.
She can't blink.
Right. I think she's more thinking like that. She probably just can't emote, right? But she's probably just like, that wasn't the right thing to say. Maybe.
Right. Jay Shep saying she is looking at the monitor to check out the snakeskin cleavage. Mark Zuckerberg vibes.
Oh, eyes up here, Mark.
I didn't even notice the cleavage till now. You just said it. It was focused on the eyes. Which is like, I said my thing. Wait till I'm addressed again. Then I come back and I address the audience again. It's like
you skimmed an entire episode and you're now just looking at the cleavage.
I didn't see it till now. Yeah.
Changed you, my friend.
I know. Desensitized to it all.
Yeah, you know what? I almost didn't notice it either. It's tasteful cleavage. It's church cleavage.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't Mormon cleavage.
Church cleavage? All right, hold on. I want to see this again.
Yeah, it's just Dorinda and the 2 apostles right there.
Okay.
Jesus.
And with that chain,
is doing a lot of work.
With that chain, it looks like it clips on, and how the priest sends the incense out into the rest of the pews and everything.
Right.
Amen. Yes.
Right. Melanie Mack approved.
Yes, absolutely. No.
So that was a clip that we forgot to get to last week, and there was another clip here, and there's been a couple of people who do other things, but they're titled under influencers, even though some are just influencers. Others are like other walks of life that are popular online, so you can say they're influencers, but they're also like like a pit master or a chef, or they do construction, those kind of things.
Right.
So there's this guy. I wasn't overly familiar with him, but he's apparently very popular. His name is Bryce Hall, and he's a big influencer. And he took time, and I don't know much about the guy, but I saw this video, and it's like, I think he kind of did the right thing. I saw a few other people calling out other influencers in the Los Angeles area for not doing anything. Okay. This guy, I think, made some good points here, so let's take a look.
All my Los Angeles influencers, you guys want to stop posting about this fire to monetarily benefit off of it? Yo, guys, my drink company is going to be, if you buy my drink company, I'm going to donate partial amounts of it to the family. Oh, I dropped in this shirt and pants. If you guys buy it, I'll donate like 3% to families. How about you just go out and help? Like, if you actually care and you actually want to spread awareness, just go out and help. Make that would actually be good content. LA influencers. Honestly, I would watch that kind of content. If you do actually want to help and you don't want to buy some stupid influencer shit, you can just text this number, CA Wildfires, and do a small donation. Every donation counts.
I was glad to see that.
Yeah,
I don't know the guy.
Wrong.
He could be a good dude. He could, I mean, with every influencer, you see people flock and they love these people. Then you hear all the other stories that this person's terrible. They're a douchebag. They're a thief. They're whatever they're doing. I don't know, but I saw that message come up and I go, that's good to see. That's because I've seen other clips of people who I have no idea who they are, who are driving around like some of those areas that now that they opened up the Palisades, you can go through, and they're doing their own little video as they're documenting the carnage that's out there. And then they turn to themselves, and they're looking sad and downtrodden. It's like, I can't believe all right, you watch the video. There's nothing that you're saying, hey, look, I'm trying to help. There's no pointing to information about making a donation somewhere or any kind of relief effort. They're just showing them sad. They're just showing that, look, this affects all of us. Okay. And what are you doing about it? Well, nothing. Then don't make a video about it. Fucking stupid. Our pal, he has a very famous account. Are You Hungry is his account, but he's a chef from Canada living in Los Angeles. He does a lot of cooking tutorials where he tells you to don't fuck it up, and he just yells at you the whole time while he's trying to show you how to cook. Decided to take it on his own. He made 100 sandwiches in his first video. And he was reaching out to try for people. It's like, if you know how to get in touch with police chiefs, fire chiefs, people that were controlling the checkpoints, I just need names. Can you point me in the right direction? I made these sandwiches. I want to go deliver them. Right. Went and delivered them, put up a video saying we took care of them. He was doing it all for first responders, helping them out. The first responders, a lot of them knew who he was. So they started taking photos and videos and posted it on their thing. So if they did it, then, he reposted all that stuff. Then he said, I'm going to up this ante here. He started reaching out. He's like, I need corporate connections to McDonald's, to Wendy's, to these on there. And he's like, I want to get 500 to 1,000 burgers made. I'll pay for them. I'll do all this stuff. I just can't go to the store, to the restaurant to order that. I need to go higher up in order to do that. Somebody connected him with, I don't know if it was Wendy's or it wasn't like McDonald's or anybody. It was Wendy's or some other local place out there. And there he goes. He's got garbage bags full, which is not, he goes, this isn't ideal. I understand, but I assure you they're wrapped and they're fresh and they're good, because he's carrying garbage bags full of burgers, puts them all in his back seat, his side seat. Every checkpoint he had his camera on in the car. It's just on him. Doesn't show the workers, doesn't show any of the emergency response people. I'm here, and it's like, hey, I just want to let you know. And they're like, oh my God, I know who you are. He's like, oh, you do? Yeah. And he's like, you want a burger? And he's just handing burgers out to people. This place went nuts. He did it for days because other companies started reaching out to him. He just started grabbing 500 burgers like every other day and going out and making sure all these guys were fed and stuff. But that's what you should be doing. If you have that kind of power and influencing, go out there, raise awareness, raise money, raise food, raise water, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not what Bryce was pointing out here that all these other shitheads were doing, going around and trying to figure, or what Spencer's doing. I know his house burnt down, but still, I think this is the wrong way to go about it.
Right.
So, I know I sent clips and stuff over to you. I don't think you've gotten it to on your show yet, but have you come across any other celebrities that were a bit tone deaf with all of this, or since the ones we got?
I had a few of them. It's mesmerizing to watch Spencer. He's not exactly tone deaf. He's just gone off the rails with it. Because his house did burn down.
Right.
When I think of it, who has been tone deaf? I mean, and I was looking at so much of this like the other week, but look at that. It's tone deaf. I've completely forgotten about it now. Not.
All right. Well, if it comes to mind, just
when it comes
jump
to
in
mind,
and let us know.
Yeah.
So let's move on to some of the Spencer stuff that we didn't get to. I have 3 different categories here. The ones we did last week was him trying to raise awareness to get his wife's song from an album that was 15 years old on the number 1 on the charts, gets it onto the streaming stuff, but then realizes Billboard doesn't include all of that as far as their information goes. You need to get radio play. You need to get sales on iTunes and what have you through SoundScan if you buy physical media somewhere. So we went through that, and he's like, I didn't realize radio was a part of this. And he's like, so he's telling everybody, call your local radio stations, demand they play it. And I'm responding in his videos like, it doesn't work that way. That's not how radio works. You can't call and request a song. You may think you can, but if it's not on the playlist that they have, they're not playing the fucking song. A couple of DJs, I guess, got permission from management that they could play the song. And they were making social media videos saying, we love you, Spencer. We love you, Heidi. And you're like, ugh, you're helping this douchebag out. Whatever.
By the way, these are the 2 that I were thinking, just to put it in my brain. Paris Hilton, who is helping out. But
right.
The first post that she did about, nobody should ever have to see one of their homes burned down.
It's the one where she's taping the television screen watching the news, right?
And just the post about nobody should have to see their Malibu home burned down. You're a Hilton. There's somewhere you could stay, even if all of your.
She's at one of her many residences, watching one of her many residences burn down.
I looked at that. That was when it first started, and I just went like, you are the least homeless person on earth.
Yeah, that's what got me. She was like, I was sitting at home watching on the news, watching my other home burn down. I'm like,
my Malibu residence burned down. Even if all of her residences burned down, you are a literal Hilton.
Yeah.
You could go to. You are the least homeless person on earth. Not to say it isn't sad, but it's like no one should ever have to see one of their 8 mansions burned down on the news. Okay, Paris.
Yeah. I would have loved it if she's like, I'm at an extended stay, or I'm at the Econo Lodge with
Motel
the kitchen.
6. Yeah, it's just right down the street.
We're just this is where we're gonna have to set up operations till we can figure out what we do now that our house burnt down.
Right.
No. Well, while we were doing that, and that was a couple of weeks ago when the fire started. While we were talking about that video, a second video popped up while we were doing the show. And we were alerted to it. So we went over. She had somebody go over and just with her phone record the smoldering ashes of what was left of her house.
And the song was that of In the Arms of an Angel.
It was literally like a Sarah McLachlan cat video.
Yeah, it was the generic sound library version that you buy for like 99 cents.
She couldn't afford the streaming rights to something. She had to use like stock music.
And Iraq, you said it too. It's like I highly doubt she went over there and
she did that.
Oh,
there was no way she went over there. She sent somebody over.
Right.
And while that happened, you told me about the Kardashians.
That's
and then that blew up.
Yeah.
That they were hoarding like hundreds of thousands of gallons of water for their lawn sprinkler system and their pools.
They overused 300,000 gallons of water. That was Kim. I think Khloe did 100,000 gallons of water. And that was a few years ago. Yeah, don't tell me about, just to keep your grass green.
And that was during, I think they were during droughts.
Don't tell me about the fires and
where are our kids supposed to play?
Yeah,
if I don't keep his lawn so lush.
Because it was during drought season. And she got in trouble for that.
How are we going to exercise the horses?
Exactly. It's unbelievable. And I love the Kardashians. I also love Paris Hilton. But you can't be so obtuse here.
Yeah.
Like, you just got in trouble for overusing 300,000 gallons of water. And also you hire your own private firefighters the last time. That's great. But you have to be a Kardashian to even understand that that's an option. Who has private firefighters to save their own neighborhood? Like, that's great. Thank God. I mean, talk about privilege. And again, I love them, but it was a little tone deaf for them to say
that row of artistic bush sculptures that follow their driveway down to the main roads where the plebeians are. They all need to be watered. If they start browning out, then it's like, what are the neighbors going to think when you're driving down the mile of our private road to get to our house? Like,
right.
It looks like a Christmas tree that you've kept up too long.
Right. They have these. Yes, exactly. You have to drive. Kris Jenner, it notoriously doesn't even let anyone park in her driveway. And it's like a mile long. Like, this is how crazy these people are. But that's what being a billionaire probably does to you.
Well, she doesn't let them park in the driveway because that's where she goes out a few times a day and plays horse. So she needs all the space to play horse.
Exactly.
Look at this, a rare appearance nowadays from Hollywood agent Rob Stark. He finally shows up saying, does she know Jordan is a red state gun nut who votes the way he swipes?
Right, that's me.
Also, what's with the dramatic lighting over Jordan? Is he trying to what is he? Is he trying to be, I guess, an ominous Neil Diamond for the new lady? It sounds like Rob's projecting here.
Well, sounds like Rob doesn't show up for weeks until a lady shows up on the show.
Rob, if you'd like the link to openly converse with Keanu, I will gladly give it to you, and we can leave the room so you two can be alone.
Oh, okay.
Do you need a new agent? That's what he's going to.
You need a new agent, man. Yeah, that's what he's going to reach out to you.
That's why he wants to talk.
How often are you out in Los Angeles? Do you have representation? All right. So back to Spencer Pratt.
Yes.
We did the radio montage, the songs. So he got pretty far. Now, in case you were wondering, did she get on the Billboard charts? Yes, she did. Did she get to number one? Not at all. So
did she get in the top 200? Because I checked the 100 and didn't see them at all on there.
Yes. So here it is. Her 2010 album, as of 2025, finally got on the Billboard 200, number 54, which
54,
not bad, right? It's number 2 on the top dance albums, number 4 on top album sales. This is all for last week. Number 4 top album sales. I said that. Number 9 on independent albums and number 13 on catalog albums. I don't know what that category means.
Catalog.
Until this week, Montag had visited the Billboard charts just twice, with the singles More is More reaching number 27 on the Dance Club song charts in 2009. Based on reported club plays of songs by DJs. So if DJs accurately listed that they spun the song in the club, or what the kids say, the club now because they're retarded.
I don't think no kids say that, Eric.
I know it's older white ladies that think that younger people say that.
It's like 50 Cent sort of.
Yeah, and Superficial reaching number 41 on the Heat Seekers album in 2010. Both have since ceased publishing. So she got onto those charts that don't exist or matter anymore. So good for her. For the song charts, also debuted a pair of songs on Billboard's newly launched Hot Dance Pop Songs chart. I'll Do It and Superficial arrive at number 5 and number 9, thanks to significant streaming and digital song sales gains. The cuts also enter number 2 and number 4 on the all genre digital song sales charts. Now that's just because he was pressing it on on TikTok and getting everybody to artificially blow up all of that stuff. Now, I think another lesson he learned was, yes, he didn't know what to do, so this is what the route he was going to do to push this song. Did all this work, constantly out there grinding, if you want to call it that, getting the spins on Spotify and Apple and all what have you, getting downloads through iTunes, getting YouTube play, all that stuff adding up. It has to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You rallied everybody right as as the fires were happening and your house burnt down. So everybody felt some sort of compassion or sympathy for this guy. Went and did it. He was calling in favors. Somewhat celebrities were posting videos for 1 minute just playing the song while they sat there or walking around or whatever to show support. Not all of them did it, and he was threatening a lot of people without saying their names because he's like, it's on, I'm coming after you. It's like, okay, yeah, Spencer Pratt's going to destroy me. Ooh.
Pratt daddy.
Yeah, so all of this was going on. Yeah, he's fighting with Alex Cooper.
I was about to say, right, after they did that whole show together, and now it's like, well, she didn't promote Heidi's song.
Yeah,
that's his angle. It's like, I helped you, now it's your turn, and no one was doing it. Like, I haven't even seen Heidi promoting her own stuff. Like, it's all Spencer.
He's like, Heidi's crying her eyes out. She can't even go on.
So I saw a video clip where he's promoting now her old partner. When Call Her Daddy was her and Sophia Funkenstein, whatever her last name is. But they call her Sophia with an F because she spells Sophia with an F. He's supporting that podcast, and it does well, but it's nowhere near the numbers that Alex does, right?
Right.
I was seeing in the comments, they're like, it's like, you're more relevant than she is. And who is she? I've never heard of her before. And I'm sitting there, I'm going, yeah, you've never heard of her before. She's, for those who may not know who she is, if you're in an older demographic, which I understand, she is the Joe Rogan equivalent for female podcasts. Like, she's got the top female podcast out there. And I'm not saying like podcast for females. It's female hosted podcast. She's the big deal.
She's the new, she has a huge deal with Sirius now. It's
that just started, I think, last week or this week. Either last week or this week it started. $120 million for 3 years with her and her podcast network. She's going to become the new face of SiriusXM.
She absolutely will, especially with, I don't think Howard will do another a contract.
His contract's done, I think, September of this year. And Sirius has announced that they got to cut $275 million this year. So
okay, well, there you go. Yeah.
Who knows if Howard stays or what have you. But that's not the point here. So he's fighting with
him, but he is like, he's got to be exhausted of it by now.
I think he is. He does 3 days a week, and he gets like 6 months of the year off. So he's barely ever there to do it.
Right.
So Spencer's arguing with Alex Cooper, which isn't good because she's very influential. She's very popular. She's a very big name, and he thinks that push comes to shove, this is going to outweigh anything she does. And I'm just like, it's either constructed, like this is all scripted kind of shit, but she's making so much money in such an important position right now. Like, she doesn't have time for this shit, right?
No.
He got annoyed that they were friends with Taylor Swift and she didn't promote anything. I went back through his video catalog. Somebody linked me to something. He's like, he thinks he's friends with Taylor Swift. Look at this. So I clicked this link. And it's you know how when videos are taken off TikTok, they're forever on Instagram for some reason, like they all go there. So it was an Instagram link, and it was him and Heidi going to a Taylor Swift concert. He's like, yeah, we didn't get VIPs, but we got our merch first. And look at these lines. They're all waiting to get merch. And he's bragging about they bought merch. And he's in the stadium high up watching this concert. Biggest, performer, entertainer in the world currently. Right. $1 or $2 billion tour or something.
Yeah.
Right. Like unheard of numbers. She's kind of a big deal. She should be untouchable at this point. Right. And he's talking about how she's friends. And he's like, I'm trying to reach out to her people to see if she can promote the song. There were fans of hers in his chat and his comments saying, not for nothing, but she doesn't do this for anybody. So it's not like she promotes anybody else's stuff, even stuff that she's invested in or artists she's supporting or has on tour with them. She promotes them on the tour, on the stage, and go out and get their song. Well, she does it there. She doesn't put that shit on her social media.
No.
And he thinks he's going to have the inside track to get this shitty club song played.
No.
Like he really became delusional. So then not only did he not understand how all that works, how the radio stuff works, the Billboard charts work. he doesn't understand now that you have to keep this up. The reason why artists like Taylor, Beyonce, artists of that level do so well for so long is because their fans don't need to be told to go stream songs all the time. They're constantly streaming playlists of their favorite artists, buying their stuff, going to Target and buying the tour books or the t-shirts and going to the shows. They just know because they like that artist. When you have to try to manufacture this and tell people to do this on a daily basis, eventually they're going to get burnt out and say, I don't give a shit. I'm sorry they lost their house. And then eventually I don't care that they lost their house because I'm so tired of their shit.
Yeah.
The numbers dropped the following week because you got to do it again. Now they're not completely gone, but it's just constantly going. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is exhausting. And I'm not even part of this. I'm watching this all unfold and trying to document this. And I don't understand how other people follow influencers, follow these reality stars to this level. I'm just watching it for the show content, and I'm exhausted trying to follow all of this.
There's something to be said, though. I think Spencer, to a level, knows what he's doing. It's so cringe and so stupid, and also so evil. He knows that if he does something ridiculous, that will bring views to his TikTok or what have you. Like, of course, like Spencer, Taylor's not going to be answering your calls, but if he bitches about it, we'll be sitting here talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, I think I think he must know, like, even though I look like an asshole, this will still bring attention to Heidi's song. I think that's what he thinks. Or maybe he is just an idiot. But
or we should just isolate Kiana saying this. He goes, look, I like an asshole. Clip that part. Okay, so let's get to some of the clips that I have here from him. One is he's threatening lawsuits, and he's very vague about who he's going to sue, but he thinks he's going to clean up with these lawsuits that he has and this high-priced lawyer that he has. Every person in that neighborhood, if there's concrete proof that draws, because that was the big outrage with the mayor there, that she cut funding to the fire departments and the funding went to other things that maybe it shouldn't have gone to. If they make that concrete line to her, not only is she out of office, like getting out of office, but then, people will sue the city of Los Angeles. They go for Gavin Newsom if they can prove negligence on their part with the budgetary cuts and the funding not going to the right places and what it was promised, and all this went down. You're not just dealing, and I'm not trying to knock the people of like North Carolina or Tennessee or whatever. You're not dealing with lower income places. These are rich and powerful people that the same thing happened to on the other side of the country. They're going to have more influence to fuck these people over than, unfortunately, the people in the Carolinas and Tennessee and what have you.
Right.
So let's watch this and go through his thought process of who he's going to see and what money do you think he's going to get here.
Wednesday, I get to update everybody on the lawsuits that are coming. Talk to the plug, maybe the biggest lawyer in the world. So I'm going to help with the case because you already know I know at least 1,000 people in the Pacific Palisades. So Wednesday, stay tuned. I'm going to get all the notes from the big dog lawyer and get ready. Get ready. You ever watch Goliath with Billy Bob Thornton? I'm Goliath. Get ready. And I'm going to document the whole, I'm going to trial. We're going to all sit and just get ready. You think the Young Thug trial had a lot of action? Just wait till you see me in the courtroom. We got...
All right. Anyone who's going to legitimately do that is not talking about it online.
No.
Because you will not do anything to ruin your case if you're legitimately going to go after for a multi-million-dollar payday or worse. You don't say shit like this. Because all it has to do is this gets brought up in court and his shit will get thrown out.
Also, doesn't David win in David and Goliath?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's referencing some show that Billy Bob Thornton did. And I guess he was a lawyer in that show. But it's such a dated reference because no one watched that show. It was like years ago.
Right.
I was with Keanu because that was next on my notes. And like David slayed Goliath. Goliath didn't
shit. Right. Exactly.
Well, I mean,
I know the Bible. Right.
Well, you don't want to talk about the Bible, you get in trouble again. It sounds like he's filming this in a McDonald's play place, for one, and two, you're right. Like you can't talk about this stuff, not on like this. You're gonna get.
No, wait, it gets better. Here we go.
Oh no.
We're going on some major media outlets tomorrow. I don't think they realize about to announce big legal cases coming. Talk to the big dog lawyers, talking to all my friends. I keep saying, I don't know if you watch Goliath on Prime. It's weird how
that part I missed.
You're right. Yes. Okay.
life works, because when I used to have a treadmill and I was trying to lose weight because everyone was body shaming me, I was binge watching Goliath on Amazon. It's all about like these big lawsuits against people that deserve big lawsuits. And now I'm Billy Bob Thornton minus the legal degree. So,
clearly
get ready.
Okay. Well,
yes.
it just wasn't that good of a reference because apparently, I mean, I've never heard of Goliath on Prime.
Right.
So
all his legal training was from like the Lincoln Lawyer, Goliath, and then I think he saw Mississippi Burning once. I don't know.
He thought it
was a fire reference.
He'd have a better legal shot if he was watching Boston Legal and watching William Shatner's Denny Crane character, showing him there just coming in, thinking that he's inept and bloated and whatever, and all of a sudden he just says one or two things and the case is won and he just wins. Watching the wrong legal show.
You don't know who Peter McNulty is. Maybe you get on Google.
That's good. Give out your lawyer's name now. Get him attacked for all this shit.
The city, state, anybody we come for with my lawyer, Peter McNulty, I'm going to get paid out. I'm going to be that rich celebrity everyone keeps talking about. So get ready. Kristen, 1, 2, 3. Once I get this check from the city, state, whoever else we sue, I'll send you a little crystal as a little souvenir.
Okay.
He must be high. Like
again,
looks like he is high as shit.
Again, offering off his shitty crystal sham. It's like, I'll send you a gift.
Really calmed him down.
Well, they were charged in the fire and then washed off in the ocean under the moon with a shaman. Who knows? This fucking guy.
I hope he slips and falls and he's impaled.
Just impales himself on a giant geode or something.
Yeah. All right. So that's his legal pursuit, and then there was no follow up. He never. There was no other videos talking about the big announcement of what. Because I guess once he mentioned that lawyer's name, that guy probably said, "You shut the fuck up, you fat fuck, or I'm not doing this case for you at all." And here's another thing: plenty of people, again, if negligence can be proven, are going to sue, right? Sure. What are the chances they're going to see a dime from this? Or if they do,
years if that happens,
they're not going to get mega millions off of this. You try to sue the city and the state. It's not a wrongful death shooting by a cop. It's not negligence by policy set forth by the city of Los Angeles. Water poisoning, lead poisoning. Ask the people in Flint, Michigan, how that's working for them. Yeah. Ask the people that are in that area of what was it, East Lebanon in Ohio. When the train derailed and there's toxic chemicals everywhere, you think they're seeing a dime? No, it's getting cleaned up, but they're going to sit there and just live out their days mutating from chemical disaster. They're not going to get any money from all of this. You know what they might get? Free copays. May not have to have a copay to go to the doctor. That's on the government. We'll take care of you for that. But to go at this level that he thinks he's going to make millions from the city, the state, the cat, whatever, to pay to. No, you're not going to get your house back. You're not getting the money to pay your house back anytime soon with this bullshit. I want to show this package here. People were giving him a lot of shit where he's talking and complaining about his house, about not knowing about how worse it was for the people in North Carolina. Tom from Alberta in the chat. Stop body shaming him. Start intelligence shaming him. You have to use smaller words. Okay. I get it. So he was getting a lot of shit from people. It's like, people in North Carolina had it, as bad, if not worse in a lot of areas. There was whole towns that were wiped off the map, not just from burning, but from like river flow. They're gone. They can't rebuild in those areas. People are still missing to this day.
And you haven't heard it really much about it. It's the weirdest.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a big movement online for like, hey, get the magnifying glass back over here. This shit's still going on. People are freezing in tents and RVs and makeshift bungalows out there because they have no houses. They don't have the mass amount of apartment complexes or hotels that California has. We saw a lot of stories which were not. It was nice that Westin hotels, all their hotels within the area, they opened them up, no charge for people who lost their homes to come and stay. Let pets stay. Took care of all that stuff. You came in, you just proved that you lived in the area. They gave you a room. You could stay there for however long they were allowing that to stay. No charge. Didn't charge anybody. That's the right thing to do. But in North Carolina, they don't have all those hotels. They don't have all of that stuff. So they're dealing with worse shit. Anyway, back to here is Spencer trying to defend why he doesn't know about North Carolina or how it's not his fault to care about North Carolina.
Funny you say that because I literally called my friend Brandon from Georgia. They created our GoFundMe and he set it at 100,000. I was like, bro, we need like $3 million. Can you change that? I don't.
All right.
That dick. Fuck off.
Yeah. He's like, he set up the GoFundMe for us, and he's like, it's like $100,000. It's like, we need $3 million. Can you change that? I can't do anything with 100,000.
No, yeah,
Fuck
you can. You can move inland. Just
Yeah.
get away from the coast, like you think you need to be, and then start moving in.
Right.
Come to Arizona. There's plenty of crystals in Sedona.
I'm sure there are. Exactly. Like, what are you doing? This is why I think it's like, this can't be real the way he's speaking. Is it just like 100,000? We need 3 million. That's insanity. You can't be this obtuse. You just
I
can't.
don't watch the news. I don't search the internet. All I do is film myself, try to sell crystals, tweet about or X about Heidi's music. Again, I'm not saying this is good, that crazy 7-2, but I'm only worried about my own family's success and what's going on in my world. I'm not plugged in on what's going on in the rest of the world. That's not my job.
Exactly.
I don't claim to be Mr. Plugged In, political, social. It's just Heidi Spencer, Gunnar Riker, our world. So I apologize if that offends people where I'm not like worried about anything out of my bubble. I live in a bubble. So now, thankfully, more people are engaging me on social media and they're like, hey, you should know about North Carolina. Well, okay. Thank you, that crazy 7-2. I now have told everybody, go look into this North Carolina thing. Got a lot of people messaging me on North Carolina. But before, no one was telling me about North Carolina. So hope that helps you understand that. And I guess that is truly sad that I only care about my own existence and my family and my success and not North Carolina's. Even though, like I said, my son's godfather, John Shrek McPhee, is from North Carolina, lives in North Carolina. And I talk to him every day on FaceTime, and he respectfully has never mentioned anything going on in North Carolina to me. So even somebody that lives in North Carolina hasn't told me I should be worrying about North Carolina. So the amount of...
Can you believe the fucking arrogance of that? It's like North Carolina is not even talking about North Carolina. No, they are still talking about North Carolina. A lot of places are. It's not the national spotlight right now, but it's still a conversation being had. You can say, look, I understand people are getting upset. I'm dealing with a world of shit right now. We lost our house. I'm worried about my family. It's a sad thing that happened out in North Carolina. I feel terrible for those people. But right now, all I can focus on is me and my family. That's the way you say it. And that's the way you put it. And because you're personally involved in this terrible situation, people will go, okay, he's got to worry about his family right now. He knows what's going on. You don't just say, I don't watch the news. That's Opie's bullshit. That Opie used to do that. I don't watch TV. I don't know what's going on. Well, you have a national radio show and you have a staff telling you, watch these shows, this movie. We have the guest coming in that's promoting this. You should know something about what's going on.
Yeah. Right. You shouldn't just turn a blind eye to everything.
Yeah. I don't watch this stuff. What do you want me to do? There's more.
Watch it.
Yeah, there's more North Carolina stuff that is going on here, but I'm gonna. We don't have much time left with you. I'm gonna switch over to him becoming
a
unhinged.
little longer than 10 for sure. So
Okay,
no rush.
him becoming unhinged, and I think the first clip in here is what alerted
just
us.
now.
The what?
He's just now becoming unhinged.
This was the package that we have where it started to happen.
Gotcha.
The first video is where I was alerted to this. Jordan had saw this video where he just lost his house and he didn't know what to do. So it's the perfect time to go out and buy bagels.
When your house burns down, you have nothing. Your parents' house burns down and they have nothing. There's only one thing that could maybe make you feel better. A bag of bagels.
Plain bagels.
Like
They're all
not
plain.
and it looks like plain cream cheese too. Like there's just nothing there for that.
Yeah.
And not even enough.
When your house burns
that many bagels.
down and they have nothing. There's only one thing that could maybe make you feel better.
Look at that. Plain cream cheese, plain bagels.
Not one everything bagel, not one cinnamon bagel.
He's got the palate of a 4-year-old.
It's not even a dozen bagels. It's like 4 bagels and 2 things of cream cheese, and he bought himself an orange juice.
Well, there's only
Fuck
4
you,
people
kids,
in
for
my
getting an
family.
orange juice.
Jordan, there's only 4 people in my family, and I'm only concerned about my family and what's going on with my family. So 4 people, 4 bagels. I don't need to worry about that.
He should have said, if y'all made Heidi's song number 1, I could afford more bagels, but I can't.
I don't have time to sit here and think about I know nothing about an everything bagel, cinnamon raisin, salted. Who knew? Nobody told me about a salted. I live right by the ocean. It's salt water. Nobody tells me about that.
I don't know how these Jewish jellies do this. I'm plugged into my life and trying to get my stuff going.
You know, I don't know about this vegetable cream cheese, Kalamata olive cream cheese. What's with the lox? Who thinks to put fish on a bagel at a time like this?
I don't know about locks, but lock my TikTok into your algorithm and then maybe we'll talk about it, yo. Like, okay, Spence.
Number 1, baby.
It's the worst bagel order I've ever seen.
A bag of bagels.
Not even a bag of bagels.
Obviously,
it's
I'm in
4
shock.
bagels.
Yeah.
He could have literally
Not
carried those
functioning,
bagels out of the bag.
I think this is the most unhinged post you've seen. Some demonic monster just wrote on my IG and tagged me that, of course, Spencer's gonna milk his burned down house for every dollar it's worth. A duh. That's right. Let me figure out every dollar I can get. How do you people not have brains? Are you just the stupidest living creatures?
The people you're going to start panhandling to, by the way.
I need someone to send him some fucking lip balm or something. He's got the most chapped lips right there.
You don't understand how dry it is here. I was
so
out
dry.
fighting the fires.
Of course, I'm trying to get money to pay for my life with my family because our house and all of our possessions burned down. And if I can do it on social media, which I've been making the only money I've made for years now, continuously showing my journey of our house burning down and all of our possessions.
That's another thing that pisses me off.
It's a
Everyone's
journey now.
fucking journey or those videos. Join me as I show you a day of my life getting ready for work. Join me as I show you how I do my workout routine. Stop joining people. Stop showing us your journeys. No one gives a fuck about your journeys.
Imagine if you're just taking a jog on the beach and you see Spencer Pratt in a hoodie lying down on the ground.
How would you know? He looks like every other homeless guy laying out on the beach.
Oh fuck, is that Spencer?
But that's the thing. I could probably walk by him in public and not recognize.
No, you wouldn't recognize him.
I would be who's this guy?
It's another, fat disheveled guy laying in a winter hoodie out on the beach. Yeah, that's just what happens here in California.
Go home to your kids with your bagels, Spence. Right?
You heard how loud they were in that video. He doesn't want to be home.
No.
No.
He'd
They
rather be
were loud.
burned out home.
To keep milking it for every dollar. I'd rather have my house and no social media. Let me tell you that much. I'd rather have everything in my house and delete all these stupid apps. I would much rather that. So yes, I will continue.
Jay Sheppy. Well, you'd recognize him as the only person to ever buy only 4 plain bagels.
Right? Like you're standing behind him in line and he's like, 4 plain bagels, please. And you're like, what the fuck is that guy
For
doing?
years now, that staff at that bagel place are going to be talking about. Remember the time during the fire, Spencer Pratt came in? He was so unhinged. He just bought 4 plain bagels. That was it.
They're like, we had to make them special. No one ever orders 4 plain bagels.
We kept telling them about, we have all these other, it's like, we knew we had kids. It's like, we got some rainbow bagels. We got ones with sprinkles on them. Maybe your kid like that. And he didn't believe they existed. Like he kept telling us he didn't believe in them. And we're like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're giving you colored bagels for your kids for free. And he waved it off.
And they weren't even sliced bagels either.
He didn't even slice them. He had them not toasted or sliced. He bought 2 things of cream cheese. It's not even enough cream cheese. It's honestly, it's really very rude.
And again, 1 orange juice for himself for the trip.
Yes.
He was holding 1 orange juice.
So what happened to him? Nothing. We all just stood at the front of the store. We watched him walk to the beach across the street. He tripped on a playground and just laid there making TikTok videos for the next 4 hours. The street
and started recording for an hour.
Right. Those are prop
what happened to the bagels? He's like, they fell out of the bag. Seagulls got them. There's orange juice just laying in a puddle. And he's sitting there talking to TikToks in 1-minute increments.
The fresh squeezed juice was probably more expensive than the bagels.
Oh, I don't know. Rob's been telling us about a lot of these bagel prices out in that area. I would believe those bagels probably cost probably what he got on social media just to fund his bagel habits.
You milking our misery on social media. Okay, it's 1 minute and 2 seconds. I guess you didn't watch my TikTok. I don't watch the news. I don't search the internet. All I do is film myself, try to sell crystals, tweet
he
about
needs
our
to go on Opie Unleashed. Honestly, Opie should have him on. We get along.
He just puts a wool hat on and walks around Los Angeles. He can be Opie Unleashed in LA. And like franchise this.
It's about Heidi's music. Again, I'm not saying this is good. That crazy 7-2, but I'm only worried about my own family's success and what's going on in my world. I'm not plugged in on what's going on in the rest of the world. That's not my job.
Was this clip in the other package?
Yeah, you already played this one.
Oh, okay. Maybe I forgot to take that out. All right, let's skip
North
through.
Carolina.
Yeah.
It's so astonishing that it's. I understand. I mean, I could watch it over.
Apple.
Yeah.
Oh,
this one. This one made me. This is the only time I didn't get mad at him. I was laughing at him for him thinking that this would ever be a thing.
Any major brands that want to do like a semi-tone deaf social media campaign with me, I'm fully available. I'm talking Taco Bell, Chipotle, Uber, Postmates, Apple, anybody with big checks that, people will obviously know you're just doing an ad to get some sympathy clout, but then the positive will be people know you're giving me a lot of money for that ad. So tag all the brands.
That's the positive.
That's exactly. Well, the public feels better that he made a ton of money. He made 5 figures for doing that Postmates ad.
Look, I'm really mad at Chipotle, but good for them for giving Spencer a check.
Here's the ad that he's doing for Postmates. He goes, a lot of people lost their houses in this fire and they just don't have homes to come home to, and what do you do about, you have family that's starving or hungry. What do you do? How do you feed the kids? Good news. Postmates delivers to hotel rooms, and that's what he does. Makes 5 figures off of that. And the audience will feel fantastic that at least he got paid for doing that ad.
Any ideas for the ad, creatively in the comments so that, everyone can like the idea of a certain ad the most. I mean, real talk, I've never in my whole life had Chipotle. So I feel like I see Chipotle paying all these people to eat these bowls or whatever. That's a no-brainer. Let me go eat a big ass.
Yeah, that's good. Solicit a company to do ads for, and you're like, I guess they eat bowls. I never ate their stuff before. That's good. Admit all that as you try to gain sponsorship.
All these people are eating these bowls.
Oh, excuse my language. I won't say that word in the ad, Chipotle or whoever. I'm not giving anybody extra promo right now. I love Taco Bell. Anybody with big McDonald's, Carl's Jr., KFC, whoever. I need a big check right now to put some money and some construction workers start digging up the new house. So in the comments section, name the company you think this should give me a nice big old ad for social media. We could do it immediately because I'm totally available, like tomorrow, today, right now. And then also the idea you think, make it real easy for them. So like, put please in the comment section which brand you think should do an ad with me, and then what the idea is, and then everyone will like that, and hopefully like a certain idea will get 100,000 likes, and then that brand will come in the comment section and be like, calling you now or DMing you. What's your what's the best way to send you the money to do this? Okay, thank you so much. So
I should say that's the most unhinged one, I think. Like that, the fact that you think you're going to book ad jobs,
right?
Doing this TikTok through your comment section while standing on the beach,
right? And it's like a lovely, maybe go into an alleyway. Oh, maybe they all burned down. I don't know, but this is why, like, I mean, you're standing you're on a lovely beach, being like, "Help me, please help me. I need a brand deal." I've never eaten one of those Chipotle bowls before, but
well, that's how you beg as a homeless person out in Los Angeles. You're not saying, got any food? Can I have any money? You know, I promise I'm going to use it for food, sir. It's like, please, I'm pretty downtrodden. I've been out here for weeks. I need a brand deal. I need to. I need a podcast company. I need something like that.
Something. Can't he go like where the Lords of Dogtown was filmed? I don't know, or whatever, and like film in like at least a dirtier, grittier part of the beach.
Right.
Wait. I don't really understand, but that's why he can't be this obtuse. This is all on purpose. It has to be.
Jay Shep in the chat. No one's this good of an actor. I cannot understand how someone is naturally this giant of a douche. Tom from Alberta. Where's the GoFundMe to get someone to apply a pipe to his head with much force and rapidity? I've been eating plain bagels since I was 18. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
I should recreate that video almost word for word and just do it. It's like, I need a syndication company out there. I need to make a brand deal. I need big checks to get our show syndicated across the country. I should do that.
Absolutely.
And then see if people know that it's the Spencer video. They won't, but that'll get some great attention.
Just walk around with some bagels and juice.
I'm just throwing bagels. Yeah, I'm walking around throwing bagels at children at the playground. You think I'm feeding them to the birds, but I'm just hucking them and they're hitting kids over the fence in the playground.
They're not sliced.
Tagging MTV or Netflix, they already passed on the Spidey show. Only Hulu is left. Hulu is the ones that are interested in the Spidey show.
No, they're not.
Don't waste your time tagging these bogus networks. Don't even watch their
Netflix.
Networks. We only watch Hulu.
Bogus networks. Netflix just announced they had 19 million new subscribers.
Right.
Bogus network. MTV, yes. Paramount said they're looking to sell MTV and Comedy Central because they are worthless. But Netflix is the biggest streaming service in the world right now.
Those bozos.
However,
what have they done lately?
True. However, I would be the first person in line to watch a new Heidi and Spencer show. 100%.
I would only watch it on Netflix because I know they'll cancel it before the second season ever comes out.
I would watch it. It would be such a train wreck.
It will not go past
It'll
one
fall
season.
in line with 1899, with Chaos.
It'll never get
all those
season
shows
2, and that's
that were
the only way I'll be happy.
And because they didn't have enough viewers in the first 2 weeks, so we had to cancel it. You spent $8 million to put out this first season, and you're not even giving it a chance to grow. Nope, it wasn't a success in the first 2 weeks. We have to cancel it.
Oh no, I would watch it in a second. I would watch it, and I'd probably it would be such a train wreck and so ridiculous.
It's just a lot of him just filming on the beach. It's just him.
And then they'll film him on the beach, laying there, making his TikToks.
It's
there. Gold.
It's like a steady cam shot, and it just pulls out, and he's just laying on a beach next to like charred rubble, and it's just every episode until it gets built.
That's how he narrates the show. He's laying in rubble in this stupid hoodie on the ground, and he's just narrating what's going on. Then it cuts to the scenes that they produce where they're like trying to salvage their burnt items, find old photos. They got it.
No, he's finding crystals. He doesn't want photos. He doesn't.
This episode is like, we're being held up because environmental surveys now have to be happening, and he doesn't know what that means, and he doesn't have time to deal with environmental surveys. He needs.
Yeah.
No, I don't get on the internet for that.
Right. Exactly.
The drinking water is not good in this area. It's like, I can buy Avion. I've got trucks shipping it in. I don't care that the water is gray. It's fuchsia. I shouldn't be fuchsia, but it is fuchsia.
Right. I lost half my crystals and all my hummingbirds in the fire. Come at me.
I'm bathing my crystals in the flammable water here to recharge them and sell them for the half hour I do at midnight on QVC.
I'm telling you, it's reality television gold.
They give him 6 episodes. He's narrating the scenes from laying in the rubble of his house on the floor while he's on the phone like that. Then they put it all out at once so people binge watch it for the weekend. They think it's pathetic and sad. Netflix cancels it, and he thought he had a multi-season deal to pay for this house. Now they started the construction, but it was all hinging on continuing this series on Netflix, and they cancel it, and now he's in the hole because he owes the money that Netflix is not paying him.
Literally, like all the construction they did was just dig out some of the rubble, and he's just laying in that hole in the last episode. Be like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do.
Dad, what do you
Seagull shits in his face.
Well, yeah, what's going after the bagels?
One of those kids came around, threw the bagel back at him, hits him right, knocks off his cheap sunglasses.
So stupid.
What were you saying, Keanu?
No, nothing. I think it's just reality television gold. I mean, I don't know why all these, companies are passing up on him. It's wild.
You can save on writers too. You just let him do what he wants to do, and you don't even have to pay writers anymore. You can make this cheap.
He's pathetic, but it's not the sellable pathetic that we're used to for putting these reality shows out. Well, here's the thing that came back. Could you do it like Fuckboy Island? Maybe you can be nude while the house is being reconstructed. Have you thought about that?
It could. Do you ever see like Along Came Polly, where Philip Seymour Hoffman's character hires his own camera crew to do? He's like, I'm doing an true Hollywood story, but you find out he was going to try and sell it to them later. Maybe he should do that. Like he could have them, and then he could maybe sell it to the networks. Like, look how good this could be, Yeah.
Fat Fuckboy Island. Yeah.
Fuckboy Island.
He's kind of looking like, look, if he's up for some work, he could do the biopic on. He could be young Alex Jones.
It's just all carbs he's eating.
It's those 4 donuts were those 4 hip bagels were just for him. He said it was for the family, but he has them hidden so that the kids can't find them. He eats them late at night and cries.
It's so hard to get to a minute. I wish I could.
So he's not getting a show if he can't get a full minute of content.
Yeah, he's struggling. It's so hard to do a minute of video. He says this multiple times in other videos. He's sitting there and he goes, 47 seconds. I got to kill another 15 seconds because it has to hit a certain threshold, I guess, to qualify to be monetized. It's like a minute 1, minute 2, somewhere in there. And he sits there. Sometimes he's counting. He's like, I don't know what else to say here. 5, 4, 3, 2. And then he cuts the video off. Like, you can't talk for a minute at a time.
He doesn't watch the news. So
he's not plugged in.
Doesn't have much to
talk about your shitty crystals.
Right. Tell us what kind of crystal you're wearing
minute
around.
In 1 second. This Creator Fund, they really figured out how to make it so you don't make any money. Who can get anyone to listen to anyone talk for a minute and 1 second?
Alex Cooper, the one you're fighting with.
Exactly.
Does an hour to an hour and a half. Joe Rogan, most popular, successful podcast in the world. 3 hours sometimes 4. If he has Ari Shaffir
for a minute.
When he's doing the park, whatever that series that he does when they're on there, 4.5 hours. They're stoned, they're drunk, they're just waxing poetic, and it does gangbusters for them.
If he runs out of things to say, he could recite some of Heidi's lyrics to her song. I wonder if he even knows them. Like, I have no idea.
Look,
you have nothing else to talk about, and your house burned down, and you're in the Palisades.
This show,
a minute.
This show, we are trying to cut down from going 3 hours.
Yeah, we're trying to talk
We're trying to stop going this long. So
my mother and I, could talk 6 hours. Right. It's ridiculous. The gift of gab. Spencer, you have it. It's a minute.
A minute and 1 second. He just stare for 30 seconds and
Do you know if he just put out a video where he's kind of sitting there and then halfway through the video, he's just sitting on that leather recliner. He farts and it's really loud and then just lets it go. That would be his most popular video. And that would kill a minute. I will say this too. I've been following his current videos. A lot of them aren't as interesting. But you can see the decline in the numbers because some of these videos were like 240,000 views, 500,000 views, 1 point something million views. And now some of these other videos are not even breaking 100,000. So still good numbers compared to what everyone else can put out there. But you see the decline and you can see people are like, all right, I'm kind of getting
over the bit. Yeah.
We're moving on to the next thing. Oh, look, a dog video. And that's where it goes.
It's like a year. It's like reading a book. That's what I'm going to do.
Reading a book. God forbid you read
can't read a book.
He's like, I couldn't get through Goodnight Moon.
I was trying to read Go the Fuck to Sleep to my kid. It's like, I couldn't even last 10 seconds on this thing.
What torture. God.
And it's like a sentence a page. It's all illustrations.
Right.
And he still couldn't get through it.
He got scared of the monster at the end of this book, couldn't finish it.
Reading books on here for the next 7 days. Please, in my comment section, tell me what books or poetry
what books
that I
are
can read to everybody that they'll listen to for a minute and 1 second so I can cash out for this last 7 days of
He goes to the store. He's just saying, he's like, I'm gonna try this book thing here. He shows the bag. He bought 4 of the same book, thinking that that's going to be
plain books.
Yeah, all plain books.
Cheese. Yeah,
they're just blank. They're just blank.
You know, something so.
Yeah, they're journals. Yeah, he bought hardcover journals.
I found these books at Barnes and Noble. I guess I'll read them.
Funny.
They have no title.
It may not be funny to anyone else. Is I've been trying to get on TV and media outlets for 15 years. At least 100 plus of the biggest media outlets in the world text me, email, and call me every day wanting me to come on their channels or do these interviews. And it's like, why would I do that? Obviously, there's no money. What am I going to go on and be like, my house burned down? Wah, wah, wah. What's the benefit? Why would I just cry and whine on TikTok for a minute and 1 second and maybe get $3.50? Why is the media?
Okay. Again, this is how retarded he is. So it's like, why would all these news outlets? There's another video that he says, it's like, for the last 10 years, they weren't calling to have me on, but now all of a sudden they're interested in me. Yes, because you're making a spectacle of yourself over a traumatic incident that happened to you personally and a vast majority of people in that area. So yeah, now they want to talk to you because there's a reason to talk to you. That's how it works, right? So he's like, why would I go on there? They're not going to pay me. What am I going to go and say? Yeah, where my house burnt down? Yes. Then also you're trying to push that stupid album and terrible music that your wife makes. Go on every outlet and promote it so that somebody will give you that sympathy that you keep talking about, so that they'll play the songs, buy the songs, do whatever. They feel like they did something.
Could you imagine
that's why you go on?
Could you imagine his new gimmick is to take a popular book like Lord of the Rings, but he only reads for a minute and 1 second because he gets bored by that 60-second mark, and every video is just a minute of a book, and he just never finishes it because it's just too much.
He's just sitting there with going like this. He goes
30 seconds is just him trying to figure it out.
What is this, right? What language is this?
Yeah.
And then Heidi leans over and she goes, oh, that's calligraphy. That's how the book was written back then. And he's just sitting there and then all of a sudden he's just looking like this. She comes over, grabs the book, turns it back the other way.
Spencer Pratt reads the classic.
And he goes, oh, okay, now. And then she walks away and he's still doing this again. And that's the video. Hilarious. Would have gotten a million something views.
I would watch a minute and 1 second of Spencer trying to read. That's what I would watch.
Opens the book, gets a paper cut. It's gushing blood. He passes out.
He's trying to put crystals on it. Still bleeding. Can't stop the blood.
His blood crystallizes, and then he tries to sell that. He's sitting there poking a chain through it.
Talk to me now. Life's so unfair.
Life's so unfair. Yes, everyone lost their houses. That is very unfair. I get it. But the way he's talking about how TV doesn't want to talk to him or pay him for all this stuff, life is so unfair. Fuck you, fathead.
I like that. I like that he also said there was like 100 media outlets. No, there's not. There's barely 100 left.
No, there probably is. He's saying 100 media. It's probably like 100 podcasts and YouTube channels, and all those news sources. Whenever you see something, a headline go trending, and you go to look it up, and like, I don't know if that's a credible news source. It's one of those kind of websites that looks like it might be something, but it turns out it's not. Those
Eric,
are the people.
We tried reaching out to Spencer to get him on the show.
I can now probably.
We should really try to do that.
Yeah. He's expecting Ryan Seacrest to call him right now to get him on his shows. With the New York Times, the LA Times, Jimmy Kimmel should have him on right now. Right. That's what he's thinking is going to happen. He's going to have a full press tour because, as we saw with the other lady, she woke up and her press tour was canceled and she couldn't believe it. So now Spencer's like, well, where's my press tour? I can't believe I don't have one.
My press tour was canceled.
Every 10 minutes. And don't worry, fire doesn't affect me. This doesn't bother me. I don't think about anything, even though the fire emoji is my least favorite emoji.
Spence.
Yeah.
I was concerned you were sitting a little too close to what killed your house.
I'm hoping, he's so fidgety that he breaks the back of the recliner and his head goes back into the fireplace, and then he's running around screaming like a Looney Tunes cartoon, where you just see the camera and he'll say, and his hands going all over the place. His head's burning.
Dummy.
He comes back on the next video. He looks like Ghost Rider.
Emoji. But I apologize that I haven't been here for, I want to say like an hour, but I've been reading every DM and comment. And thank you to everyone making these videos and posting it. You got me so pumped up. I can definitely stay up till 4 a.m. again.
Yeah, he did these little. He was up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning West Coast time. He would just have little videos where he's sitting there going rah, 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 like that, and I'm like, all right, I got to put all this together. Like that's all it was.
One sec, G. I got to tell Go Mad One who I am. I'm a rich A-list celebrity. Okay. Gunner and I are at the Detox Steve.
This drove me nuts. He's complaining about money. We can do the laughing too. He's complaining about money. He doesn't have time to do all of this shit. He goes to an oxygen bar with his kid.
Every DM and comment. And thank you to everyone making these videos and posting it.
I went back too far.
You got me so pumped up. I can definitely stay up till 4 a.m. again. Hey, one sec, G. I got to tell Go Mad One who I am. I'm a rich A-list celebrity. Okay. Gunner and I are at the Detox Depot getting oxygen with ozone through oil. Obviously, I'm not a medical professional. This is not like a fact.
I thought he was.
Gunner's having so much fun. Thanks for coming with me, Gunner. I'm doing this because I wore no mask when I hiked up the hill to see my house, which was...
See, I have a problem, too, with people throwing their kids on social media like this. It's one thing if it was a major news story, something important that you had to have your kids on or made sense is one thing. There's no need to have his kids on this shit at all.
No.
At all. You can talk about how this is affecting your family. Great. There's no need to put the kids through this too.
He's just sitting there like, Dad, what are we doing? Number one, number two, like I'm just sitting here with this weird thing. Like, ugh.
Right. Now he's getting high on pure oxygen.
One of the dumber things I've done in my whole life. And so hopefully this helps get rid of that cough. You having fun yet?
He looks so happy and not.
What do you want to watch?
What do you look like?
What do you look like? Okay, well, means we can't TikTok and make money for like 10 minutes.
I know that.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
I want to grow up and have a childhood father. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It means we can't. Yeah. He has to turn the phone into TV. I have a young kid. There's times where I'm doing something, not at home. If we're in the car, if we're in the supermarket, anywhere, one of the stores, and I'm trying to get stuff done, and the kids doesn't can't pay attention. Can I have your phone? Yeah, she wants to watch Gabby's Playhouse or Doc McStuff and some. I have a playlist. Here you go. Has the phone. She's watching that while I'm doing whatever else we need to get done. That's what this situation is. Little kid, he wants to watch cartoons. He doesn't want to be sitting there in an oxygen bar doing, peddling for pennies on Instagram with his stupid father.
Right.
And then he goes, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like well, we can't make money if we don't do TikTok, son, or whatever. He just fucking said, like, he doesn't know anything about that. Like, let him have a little bit of
Woody Woodpecker.
There are people who are by the sides of roads and highways that are trying to sell flowers or bottled water or those fruit cocktail things with the tagine and stuff on there, and have their kids with them, unfortunately, because that's the only way they know how to make money. That is more respectable than you've got your kid in an oxygen bar and then you're browbeating him because he wants to watch cartoons. And you're like, well, then I can't TikTok stream.
Right. You know what privilege is? An oxygen bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's the most
Are you kidding me?
Yes, we will be poor.
What do you want to watch?
We're gonna be poor. That means Santa's not coming.
Right. Okay, well, means we can't TikTok and make money for like 10 minutes.
I know that. And 10 minutes so much.
Okay, thank you. What do you say?
Kid did the right thing. All right, finish your videos, then I'll watch TV.
Right. I'll take a minute. Right.
Hey, son,
I want some money.
how do you get money?
You do this will say for a minute and then like.
No, it has to be longer than a minute. So what?
Longer than a minute.
Great values you're teaching your kid in a time of crisis. That this is what we got to do, how to make TikTok and social media videos instead of doing everything you can so that the kids don't know about the more horrible stuff that you have to deal with to get your family lives back in order. You're sitting here and blatantly putting him on here now for your grift.
Yeah, we got to talk for a longer than a minute. No, we're doing it. We're in the minute. So what are you going to talk about for a minute? My sister is a very special human, so I'm sure she means well, airing out our address or whatever and talking about our kids. Hopefully in those tears, she's telling everyone to stream Heidi's album and to shop prattdaddy.com, but I can't speak on behalf.
His sister wound up on some of the local news channels out there because she was in areas where they were talking to people who lost their homes. And she's kind of known, but her brother's very well known. And they like, oh, your brother's house and your family's all their houses were gone. So she's talking about, yeah, we live in this section of the Palisades and whatever. And he's like, well, hopefully she's plugging her album so we can make money. His sister was devastated. I don't know what the relationship is or if she's crazy.
He's always hated her. He's on the hills. He's been like, my sister's an idiot. She's on LC's side. I mean, they have had a tumultuous relationship for years. She's like, my brother's an asshole. Like
he is.
Been years of this, and she's right. Absolutely, she is. But they were both on that same show, and I mean, that goes way, way back. So
I can't speak on behalf of Stephanie. Let's be clear. If I seem like the most unhinged, crashing out person on this whole app, I am. Let's just get that.
Denying that,
clear.
Ben.
I have lost my mind. If you start thinking about every single thing you've ever bought and like you bought it with money you didn't have to even buy it, and it was like,
okay. Before you hear the rest of this insanity, up until this point in this one particular clip, you had me. He's like, you think I'm unhinged? Yeah, I'm unhinged because we just lost our house and everything we own in a devastating fire, all of this stuff here. And when you lose everything you own, yes, that is a picture you're painting that most people don't have to go through. Some unfortunately do, but a lot of us haven't. And he's trying to paint the picture about when you understand when you've lost everything. Cut the video there. Don't go when you bought things that you didn't have the money to buy. So you were using credit cards and you're in debt buying fancy items and shit that you didn't need because you couldn't afford them. You lost everybody again. Like he gets to the one point and then it all fucking falls off the cliff every time he tries to garner sympathy. Listen to what he's talking about here.
Like a reckless purchase and it's gone. and you just can't stop thinking about each item, the dumbest things you could think. I had ozone water showers. I had Toto toilets to wash your butt, and the freaking seat was warm. All this stuff that was out of my price bracket, things that I was just like, I hustled to get because I wanted a freaking better life that I shouldn't have had. I probably shouldn't have bought it, but I did. So let's just be honest and clear in the comment section when people are like, oh, what's wrong with this person? Everything. Okay? Everything. I'm keeping it together here because I have 2 kids and I want to freaking have them go to college and have a freaking life. Okay? So this is crashing out at its finest. Okay? We're all on the same page.
Now, if you worked, instead of sitting there waiting for reality TV opportunities, if you actually worked in anything, you would have money coming in.
I think it's working, maybe. Like, let's just cause a stir and I'll get some dollars from it. I think maybe it's gotta be, right?
I think, well, later they revealed that they're, if you don't know the term, house poor, right? So the house was paid for and what have you, but he wasn't having really any income coming in. Maybe he was getting residuals from television stuff. He was selling his crystals. Maybe he was making money here and there. Who knows what Heidi was still doing.
TikTok, I saw that he was doing those live battles on TikTok.
Right.
I saw that a while ago. Maybe something from that. But
so he was getting money coming in, but not enough to like sustain a salary for a year.
Right.
To live on. He's talking about, you start thinking about each individual item that you've lost. He probably still owes money on the fancy Japanese toilet, on the whatever the ozone
Toto bidet, warm
the ozone shower stuff. He probably still owes a ton of money on these things. So when it all burns down, he's thinking, I still have to make those fucking payments.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Credit cards are not going to say, well, I'm sorry you lost your house, but you still owe money. They're not going to say, well, because you lost your house, well, you don't have to pay for that, $50,000 toilet that you installed in your house.
Right.
Or however much that thing is. I don't know. Jordan, you have like 4 of them. How much do they cost?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I built them all out of Legos. They don't really function.
Okay. Fair enough. And then he's talking about, I want my kids to go to college. Yeah, then you shouldn't have bought the fancy toilet. You shouldn't have bought the Amazonian fucking rainforest shower system that you have in your house.
You don't need to go to an oxygen bar. Are you breathing okay? That can't be cheap.
There were clips where they talked about how Heidi had to go to Marshall's to buy underwear and socks.
Oh, God forbid.
And she kind of she didn't say much, but you could kind of look on her face like she wasn't too happy that they had to go to Marshall's to buy this stuff. And then he goes, but the good news is when I parked right in front of Marshall's, right when you walk into this hallway to the left, wine bar, and he's got a glass of white wine. He's sitting there and he's like, so sometimes there are some silver linings for, and like, she
does know most of her clothing line ended up there, right? Like,
yeah,
right.
Maybe. I don't know. Now, here's something where he's so out of touch. He's at the Apple store and he has to get new accessories for his phones and his tablets and stuff. And this is probably the most devastating thing in his life.
Wow, this is one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life, having to rebuy charging cables from Apple.
Oh.
It's not your fault. Just have to complain to TikTok. Oh my God.
The guy who's helping him is off camera and he's like, it's not your fault. He's like, I just need to complain on TikTok. I have to buy all these cables.
Sorry, sir.
God.
I'm just a genius.
All the cables.
You got to kind of Walmart or Target for that. And
yeah,
the fact that you're at the Apple store getting those shows your privilege or what you think you're slumming it for.
Keanu, this is the last clip. If you unless you have to go now.
All right, perf. There you go. Then I gotta bail. As fun as this is.
Hold on.
Welcome to the real world. It's so funny. Wait, where was I living? Abby? Thanks for the welcome.
He's futzing with his hands. He's blocking the microphone.
You can hear it, yeah.
I want to go live right now for like 8 hours and get amazing gifts from people that have excess money that just don't care about sending digital animation to people on the internet. But I'm worried since it's going away on Sunday, they won't have to send me my the money that people send me. So live streaming is kind of on a hold right now. Anybody know about that? Can they just keep the money? They're just like, okay, shutting the app down. All the money you got from gifts from live streaming, we don't have to give it to you because the app's gone.
That was his concern. The app's gone.
Must have been the longest 12 hours of his life when that shut down.
Now,
Honestly.
to wrap all this up, he was going hard in the paint on TikTok nonstop up until the ban. And even when the ban happened, he loaded, I think, 12 videos into the drafts portion of the app. And he had them sitting there hoping the app would come back. And when the app did come back, he woke up the next morning, like every 20 minutes, he just put out another video for all that stuff. And all the videos kept saying, I'm making these. I don't care if the app's gone. I'm putting them in the drafts because then I'll just post them on Instagram or whatever. All of a sudden now TikTok wasn't, the place to be. He got interviewed after the week of him going hard, asking for money, pushing the music online through radio stations and music streaming apps and what have you. Turns out he made $24,000. Now,
bro, he needs like 3 million. What are you doing?
Yeah, for a week's worth of whatever for somebody creating content, that's not bad.
No, I mean, right? I'd take that.
Right?
It's only 1 month of oxygen bars, you guys. So
he said,
so many bagels.
I only made like $4,000 on TikTok this week, but on TikTok Live, where people can just on TikTok Live, where people can just give to me direct, I think I maybe made $20,000. So that's phenomenal and life changing. So he made $24,000 going as hard as he did on that. You got to do it again every day. You're going to turn this into a job. That is the hell that is your life. Going that hard, hoping that people will still care going into week 2 with this thing here. Plus having to deal with the IRL of getting your house and finding a place to live, your kids back in school, all of those things. This is not something that's going to be fixed anytime soon. This is going to be years before people get their lots back or can start rebuilding or whatever else they're going to do. And you think he's going to keep this pace up every week?
He's already tired of a minute and 1 second. He's not going to do this.
When asked about the effects of this and the TikTok ban, he's quoted saying, it's endless, it's mindless. I've learned more from scrolling than I've ever learned from 10 years of college. Well,
10 years of college.
That's
are you a doctor? I mean,
he's not Van Wilder.
10 years.
Literally an associate's degree too. He didn't even get a
It
bachelor's.
took you that many times.
I've learned more from scrolling than I've ever learned from 10 years of colleges. Lots of other learning lots of other learning places. You can show that's how educated he is by that statement.
Learning
alone.
places.
Right. Yep. Jay Shep's right in the chat there. He's Tommy Boy. Well, no, sorry. That's Herbie Hancock for some reason. He's Tommy Boy.
Hancock.
There we go. Herbie Hancock. Got it. Yes, Tom, this is Gen Z panhandling. Well, no, he's millennial. He's older millennial. If you get rid of TikTok, then all apps need to go with it because all apps do the same exact thing. It's unbelievable. This is starting to really, really annoy me. Leave my scrolling alone. He then added that it should not concern anyone what he chooses to do with his own phone. He said, I'm going to vote all of you out of office for messing with my TikTok. No, you're not.
You don't watch news. You don't know who did it to you.
Right. Yes, there are other apps that are taking all your information. No one's arguing that point. But the other apps are not the ones in the hot seat right now. TikTok is. And for good or for better or for worse with that app, it's back right now. It's still being sorted out. It could go away again within 60 days, 90 days?
90 days, I think.
90s that he signed the extension for. still can be an issue for a lot of people here. And he's like, it's my phone. I can do what I want. That's not the same. He's trying to come off with the same speech, like my body, my choice. It's not the abortion argument for getting rid of TikTok in your phone. It doesn't hold the same kind of weight in your argument for doing all of that.
No, it doesn't. Also, the election is over. You didn't know anything about this before? When TikTok's your major thing, like,
I'm gonna vote you out of office. Well, there's already
signed that before the election anyway. So like,
you've already got a mayor that might be kicked out of office. They might have to have an emergency election if it looks like it's going that way, but we don't know yet. Yeah. The governor's race is coming up soon, I think. Right? Is it this year for California? I know it's for a lot of other states.
Maybe, yeah.
But Newsom's probably got presidential aspirations, but who knows? There's a lot of shit going on right now. Your voice is not going to do anything. And it doesn't mean a whole collective voice isn't going to do anything, because that will. But Spencer Pratt's going to come after Donald Trump. Spencer Pratt's going to come after Gavin Newsom and what was her name? Wayne Brady, the mayor of Los Angeles.
Wayne Brady.
She's going to come after Wayne Brady to kick you out of office. Oh no, Spencer Pratt, big bad voodoo daddy of the internet.
Well, if Spencer, says it, gosh, guys, we better reassess.
We have to. Keanu's going to have to get out of here anyway. She's going to have to run and hide and hope for the best for her podcast security. Keanu, you've got stuff to do. Give us the plugs. Tell everybody where they can find you.
On my channel, it's a fashion show thing. And then, yes, Keanu C. Thompson. Listen to the podcast. Follow me everywhere at Keanu C. Thompson. And thank you for having me on. This is always so much fun.
Thank you for coming on here. Again, Keanu Cast, it's a podcast with her and her mother. It's not really been done anywhere, nor should it be, but it exists. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts. And the video versions, I think, are released a day later or the day before. I forget how they do it with her stuff on her YouTube. So you listen to the audio because that's where she makes her money. She talks for more than a minute and 1 second, so she's qualified. And then go watch the videos so she can double down on the same content like all of us do. That's the American way. Keanu, thank you very much for coming in. We'd love to have you back at some other time. It's been a lot of fun.
Anytime. I like hanging out with you twos. This has been so much fun. Take care, my love.
Care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
More, it's Eric Nagel.
It's Eric Nagel.
Next.
All right, folks, if you're still out there drinking that sad, watery coffee that tastes like it was brewed through an old sock and barely can get you out of bed, then it's time to upgrade to the 22 Sierra Coffee Company. It's veteran-owned, family-run, and genuinely committed. 22 Sierra Coffee doesn't just make amazing coffee, they make a difference, too, by supporting veteran health and wellness across these United States. These guys are so committed to making a difference. And let's be clear, this isn't the close your eyes and chug it down type of coffee. It's rich, it's bold, it's deliciously smooth. There are many carefully crafted blends to choose from, like the aptly named Dark Roasted Death from Above. This blend was created to honor the brave men and women of the airborne community, making it the perfect gift for any veteran, active duty service member, or coffee lover who appreciates the sacrifices and bravery of those who served. Every bag of beans goes to support nonprofits that help veterans in the community gain access to the help that they so desperately need. So every little sip is a small salute to those ones who have served us greatly. And if you want to try a coffee that delivers and gives back, grab a bag of 22 Sierra Coffee. Listeners of It's Eric Nagel can get 15% off their order by using promo code ERIK, that's Eric spelt correctly, at checkout. That's 22sierracoffee.com, promo code Eric for 15% off.
It's Eric Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Eric Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itsericnagel.com. We're back with more It's Eric Nagel.
Segment 2 of the show, Eric Jordan, finally, for this year, 2025, getting back to the segment where we talk about television, movies, streaming updates, go through all of that stuff, letting you know what's good and what's bad. You take them both, and there you have segment 2.
Only 2 hours into the show.
Correct, or maybe less with creative editing.
Good job.
We usually start off this segment of what we're watching currently. Jordan, what are you watching?
I finished up Skeleton Crew. Season ended, I think, about a week ago. It was cute. It was a good little show. I hope they do another season. I don't think the viewership was there for Disney to do a season 2, but I hope they do. They ended it pretty well. It's a cute little pirate story set in the Star Wars universe. I don't think there was any one character that I hated. It was all really fun. They ended it well to where if they don't get another one, fine. But I think all the characters were all really well. Jude Law was good. So like I really enjoyed it. I did start watching the season 2 of Severance, the first episode.
That's on my list to watch.
It's so good. Like Severance is such a good show.
Is it a weekly release or all at once?
I believe it's a weekly release. Yeah. Okay. So I think episode 2 should be out now as we're doing this, or
I gotta
tomorrow.
sign back up for Apple TV.
Yeah.
I think I canceled after watching season 1.
Yeah. So season 2's up and running. It's pretty good. And then I never got to go to the theater because I just got busy. Nosferatu, which we'll talk about later, is now streaming. So I pay-per-view streaming, excuse me, not on any streaming site, but I ended up watching Nosferatu on demand. Yeah. And it's really good. I love the director, Robert Eggers. So like, I love his movies. I love his style. It's very dark. It's very good. It's very sexual.
How was the Lily Depp nude scenes?
It's Lily Depp. Who cares? Like, I mean, we saw her in that one show with the Weeknd, I guess. So it's not like new. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not like, oh my God, she's finally new. No, who cares? But the movie was really good. Like, I love The Lighthouse. I love all his other stuff, The Northman. So this was, just another Robert Eggers movie, and it was really good. And you wouldn't have known Skarsgård was Count Orlok. So I mean, really good performance.
I still don't, and you just told me.
Yeah, no, she was great. He was great. I mean, it was fine. I liked the movie. So, and that's basically everything else I watch. I've been catching back up on old shows. Like I've been throwing Brooklyn Nine-Nine on in the background. Like to kill time while I'm working or throw those kinds of things. Yeah, exactly. So,
for me, I watched Squid Game season 2 and was pretty aggravated where they left it off, but apparently they shot both season 2 and 3 at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a cliffhanger where they left it off, and I'm waiting desperately to find out when season 3 is coming out. Hopefully it's not going to be next year, because
I think it's this year in the summer.
Good. Still far enough away, but I would like to see the rest of it. And then I started the last season of What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, finally.
So I watched the first episode and I haven't gone back to it yet, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, where there was a vampire friend they forgot about and he was in the house the entire time. So that was a fun,
love that show.
Way to go.
Now, did you go back and restart all the series? Because I know you wanted to do that.
I will at some point. I'll go back and start all over again. But I wanted to get into it now. I don't think
every time I go down to Tucson, I keep thinking of Matt Berry doing the Tucson, Arizona thing, and it just makes me laugh every time. So like
Jackie Daytona, human bartender, sending human. Was it selling? What was the slogan? Selling human alcohol.
All I know is that he was coaching. Like at one point, he wanted to coach the volleyball team or something.
Right.
Oh yeah. So every time I think about it. So
I want to go back
and rewatch it too.
I watched that. I don't think I've watched any other TV. It's been a while. I haven't watched movies. I haven't watched television. I've been stuck with YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
That I've been watching all the time. So I have to get back to television and to movies. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, Severance I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch that. What's that video game show that was on Amazon?
Oh, that's right. Oh, shoot. What was that called? Because we were talking about that a couple weeks back.
I have it on the list. Harley Quinn season 5. I definitely need to watch.
It started last week.
There's a bunch of movies and specials.
Creature Commandos. You should watch that.
Yeah, I got to watch that too.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I need to catch up on.
Catch up.
All right. What's out right now in theaters? Flight Risk and Presence. What are those?
Flight Risk is it's a weird Mark Wahlberg movie where he's like got this weird horseshoe haircut. I guess he's like a prisoner on a plane, like a little twin Cessna plane, and it looks so stupid. And it was directed by God, what's
I thought I heard that movie was getting panned.
Yeah, it was directed by Mel Gibson, and it's like just bad timing because all this happened. Mel Gibson's out doing
his
Mel
house
Gibson
burnt down.
Yeah, so I hear. Oh, and he was also appointed as a representative of Hollywood by the newly appointed president. I'm like, whatever, dude. Okay, so it looks dumb. It looked dumb before I knew who was directing it. Who cares? Presence is a movie where the movie it's like a ghost story movie, but shot as if you're the ghost. So like the camera kind of pans in real deep into people's faces as if you're the ghost in their face. It's shot pretty well. Like, I think it looks cool. I haven't heard too much about it yet as far as like how people are receiving it. But I am going to check it out. It looks interesting. So
I just got an update here real quick. Since we were talking about TikTok and other apps that were going out, Simpsons Tap Out is done.
Yeah, that was done a couple months ago.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Somebody sent me a screenshot here. It says unable to connect to the server after January 24th, 2025. The TSTO servers will no longer be available. So
yeah, they announced that a while ago that they were just going to be done.
All right,
which kind of sucked, but it was fun for a little bit.
I got to say that I did find it amusing that when the TikTok ban was happening, people were, and we had talked about this weeks ago, I was getting invites to Lemonade. And to Red Note, and there was a third one, but only one or two people invited me to this other app. I can't remember for the life of me what that other app was, but it seems like Lemonade and Red Note became the two, big ones to mention in lieu of a TikTok closure. That so many people didn't realize that when TikTok went down, Lemonade was also owned by ByteDance, so that went down, and people were setting up.
Went down.
People had set up, I'm going to get to that in a second too, but people were setting up their videos and their accounts over there.
They were like all into it.
Had no idea that was owned, so that got shut down. There was a couple other apps that they had, but another big one, which wasn't a social media app, it was more of a production tool, CapCut, which is a big app that people use for editing videos, doing captions, all that ridiculous nonsense,
green screen stuff. Yeah, it was
vertical videos and what have you. That got shut down, and so many people I didn't know about that one.
I didn't know either,
and that got shut down. So all the people who use TikTok for their livelihoods and use CapCut to edit their videos were like, "What the fuck?" Like they were screaming because all these other apps were being shut down. And then there's rumor that this company Tencent might
a big one.
Getting eyed by the United States government for getting shut down, and Tencent, I guess, owns a giant share of Epic Games, which would mean Fortnite goes away.
Marvel Snap, which was like a really popular like Marvel card game, shut down when TikTok went down because apparently ByteDance originally had stake in it and then supposedly divested from them, but I guess didn't fully, and no one knew. So when that went down, everyone was like, what the hell's going on here?
Right.
So yeah, like a lot of stuff went down that no one knew was going to be in the fallout of the TikTok ban.
So that was fun. And then the Red Note stuff where where people were posting videos on Facebook. I saw this. The Chinese people are not what the government perceives them or the media is presenting them as. They've been very welcoming. They're very accepting. They're like, welcome Americans. We love your culture. And all these people are putting these videos out and like the Chinese people are great. And it's like, no one's knocking that the Chinese people aren't, nice or decent people, but err with the side of caution here because you're putting all this stuff in. They could be fake people. It's a government run app. So these people that could be welcoming you and they could be saying this is fantastic and a lot of positive affirmations and interactions with you. And they're already following my accounts. They could be what they call paid actors. And
possible.
This could be fucking up your Christmas with all of this stuff. But then TikTok was back and nobody spoke a Red Note again. Like it was just like, oh yeah, we're TikTok's back, so we don't need to worry about that. We're willing to give our information to the Chinese government. What do you care? The government lied to us here. Yeah, and they're even worse, if not as bad as us. Don't trust any of them.
No.
Just stop being so defiant just because I'm going to be defiant. TikTok refugees, Facebook refugees, fuck all of you.
Look, just do like Spencer Pratt. Go lay down somewhere and just enjoy.
Go lay down somewhere, buy 4 plain bagels, and
enjoy your day.
What you're doing with your life.
Exactly.
Anyway, what else is out now? On demand, video on demand. You got Wicked. You got Gladiator 2, which I want to see. Craven the Hunter.
It's so bad.
You told me such terrible things.
Really
I
bad.
don't know if I want to watch it just because how bad it is. I did not watch Madam Web. I remember seeing parts of Morbius.
I don't even know which one was the worst at this point. Like they're so all incredibly bad that I really don't know which one I can play.
Building up to Craven, they're saying no, it's actually pretty good, and it was all the people who were, I guess, paid to review this movie. Craven's not that bad. It's actually a pretty good story, and then it comes out, and everyone's like, "This is a piece of shit."
It's really bad, really bad.
So that'll be available. Sonic 3, which the Sonic movies do well, and Nosferatu, as you've said, over on Netflix. I'm excited about this. Ari Shaffir has a new special called America's Sweetheart. I've seen some clips online. It's hilarious, so I'm going to give that a watch. Castlevania Nocturne season 2. I don't know if I've seen season 1.
I don't think I watched it. I know we talked about it because we were big fans of the original run of Castlevania anime. And this one got announced. I don't think I watched Nocturne. So I think I need to go back and watch season 1 and then start the season 2.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that myself. Over on Apple TV, we mentioned Severance season 2. Over on The Max, which I don't have right now because I'm in the middle of, I got to tell you my FiOS story. So I was canceling all my premium channels because for some reason I was still paying for HBO and Showtime, and I got rid of them, and apparently those were paying for my service for online. And we'll get into that in a second. But over on Max, Harley Quinn season 5 is available. I know Bill Maher's up and running again for his show. I don't know when last week with John Oliver comes back. I think it doesn't come back till February.
Which is crazy considering
everything that's going on.
Everything that's going politically in the last 4 days. You would think this would be just.
They took a lot of time off. So, I think it's not coming back till February. Over on Disney Plus, Skeleton Crew, like you said, episode 8, Shifting Gears and Goosebumps The Vanishing. Is that the one with Ross from Friends?
Yeah.
Okay. Over on Peacock, The Wild Robot. And for wrestling fans, obviously Raw is not on Peacock anymore. It's not on the USA Network. It's all on Netflix. You can watch it live. And they don't have that fucked up deal where if you missed Raw on television, you had to wait like a week for it to show up on Peacock for you can stream it.
Right.
If you missed it on Netflix, doesn't matter. You go right there. It's right there. You can go and enjoy it. And I think once the Peacock deal is done, the pay-per-view, well, what do they call them now? Premium live events, PLEs, then go to Netflix after the NBC Universal deal is done. SmackDown, which was on Fox, is now on USA Network with NBC. And like I said, the pay-per-views are all there. So there's that for the rest.
Is Peacock doing the Saturday night one? I know they're bringing back the Saturday night ones.
They brought one back already. They did another edition of Saturday Night's Main Event. They have another one coming up. And this is the busiest 4 months for WWE now because it's the road to WrestleMania. Royal Rumble's coming up in a few weeks. And then you have the Elimination Chamber and you have Money in the Bank.
Right.
And then you have WrestleMania.
Now, other than the first week when they aired live, when they came to Netflix, have you gone back? Because it's been 3 weeks. And I watched that first Monday and I was like, this is great. This is, it's running well. It's cool. I haven't gone back. I almost completely.
I went back the next week because they started using drones.
Oh.
And I forgot to pull. I had the drone video. I'll pull it for next week. I had the link for the drone video. Raw started off with the drone out in the foyer area. And it comes flying in, goes down to the door, down the stairs into the arena, goes flying over the arena, around the back,
cool.
comes up the walkway where the wrestlers go to the ring, goes into there, goes over the ring, down to the announcers where it's Pat McAfee and Michael Cole.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have so they're looking at the cameras, then they look up and now they're looking at the drone camera, and then it flies off and goes around the arena.
That's
gotta admit, it's pretty cool.
All right.
Pretty cool.
I kind of dropped off already. I'm like, okay, I did not care. I just was like, oh, the spectacle of it coming to Netflix was big. So I watched it, and then I keep forgetting. Like, I just literally keep forgetting that it exists.
Here's a little cheat sheet. They post so many updated videos on Instagram. So right as a segment happens, that video is up on Instagram showing you the highlights. So
check that out.
If I missed Raw, I can just go through. I'm like, oh, this happened, that happened. Here's what's going on with the Bloodline. Here's what's going on with Cena. Here's going on with CM Punk.
Yeah, because Cena's doing his farewell tour. So
it starts with the Royal Rumble. And then it's a year of events all the way up until the end of December that he's doing all of this stuff for his official retirement.
Crazy.
From the WWE. It'll make $1 billion for them. So good on everybody involved. Real quick before we go into other stuff that's coming up, Fios. I needed to update my file because the TV would turn black and then it would go black and then come back again. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I had these boxes in the router for like 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, you know what? They're not saying anything to me. I'm going to call them and request new equipment. So I go to call and it's telling me to go to the website. Everything's through the website and through the app. So I go into the live chat thing through the app, through the website. Speaking to somebody, I said, hey, I need to get all new equipment. Sure. What's wrong with the equipment? It's 12 years old. I'm starting to have some problems here. The remotes are not functioning as they're supposed to. The channels will black out and then come back. Half the channels, and it's all channels I don't give a shit about, like basic cable stuff, aren't working. I go there and there's an error code. And I go, it's time for new equipment. So the person I'm talking to online is like, okay, we'll go there. And I said, plus I need to make changes to my plan. Okay, well, here's your new bill. I go, no, that's not it because I didn't tell you the changes to my plan. I said, I went and looked through everything. With Verizon, you get the phone, you get the internet, you get the cable. So it's called the triple play. And I said, I need to get rid of these premium channels, these premium packages. Do I have any sports packages that I'm paying for that I'm not aware of? No. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, this needs to go. This needs to go. And this needs to go. Okay. Well, then, you don't have access to the streaming portions of this. I said, yes, I don't care. It's fine because I'm getting rid of all of that stuff because I got the bundle deal from Disney, Hulu, and Max together.
Right. Oh, that's right. I forgot they were bundling all three now.
And it was $22.99 a month for the three of them. So I was like, I'd rather just do that. And then, so they go through, they eliminate the stuff, they're recalculating everything. And as they do it, I lose all internet connection. And I go, are you kidding me? The TV goes out, the internet goes out, everything goes. I'm like, what's going on? Whatever they're doing to adjust my packages is recycling everything in the house. So now I lost the connection that they're forcing me to have online. So I'm in the page there. I try to open the chat again. I get a different person. And I said, I don't know what happened, but you guys pushed something through as we're trying to update my account here. It reset my internet, my cable, everything recycled. Can you go and look in the record and see where we left off, or there's got to be something. So the person there, yes, I see it right here. You wanted this, you changing this. Yes. Plus I have a lot of boxes. Like every room had a box and we're barely watching television as it is. So it's like, I don't need all these boxes. So I had like 6 boxes in the house that I'm paying for. Drop it down to 3. I don't need all these other boxes. Okay, dropping all the other stuff. Okay, we'll get rid of the boxes. Perfect. What we'll do is they'll send you some new equipment, and then you have to return the old equipment to a Verizon outlet within 30 days. Yeah, that's fine. I can do all that. Internet goes out, the cable goes out again. It recycles again. I'm like, what is going on here? And then I get back on, and luckily I got the same person again.
Right.
And I said, look, I don't know what you're doing, but whenever you're changing the plans, it's sending a signal to recycle everything here. We're not doing that. It has to be. It doesn't happen twice unless I'm talking to you guys. It's not us. We've never had this issue. It has to be you. So no, I don't know what's going on, sir. We're just making the changes to account. Right. And that's doing something and sending out a signal. If you removed Premiere channels, it probably sent a signal to zap those channels off my my system so I don't have access to it. Like, I'm explaining how some of this works to the people online here they're making me deal with. Goes through everything. Okay, well, this is the new bill. We're sending it over. You can access it through your app. Just there's a text thing that's coming through there. Approve that so we can update your bill. Okay, I go through. Yes, this looks correct. I hit the thing. Another signal goes through. I lose internet connection, and the TV's recycling again. I'm just losing my shit. I'm like, why can't you just do this on the phone? Why is this a fucking problem? Get back on there. Get another person. They have the whole record. Luckily, they have all the record of all of this, so they know what's happening. Go through everything, and then they say, well, we've got good news for you. I said, okay, what is that? Just to let you know, we've worked it out so that you don't have to, so the stuff will be shipped to you without any additional charge. I said, it should be shipped to me without any additional charge because, one, I'm not paying a shipping charge, and two, there shouldn't be a shipping charge that I have to be worried about to begin with.
Right. I mean, that's.
And they said, well, you don't have to worry about that. With this deal here, you don't have to pay the shipping charge. And I said, no, you don't understand. I'm replacing your old, outdated, faulty equipment that you didn't notify me that should be replaced. I'm letting you know it needs to be replaced. I should not be charged for the equipment I'm renting from you. This should be taken care of. Well, sir, we're explaining that you don't have to pay for it. Yes, but the way you presented it to me, as if there was some kind of promo code savings that let me not have to pay for this stuff, when I'm telling you that shouldn't have even been part of the discussion. There was no way I was paying for this equipment or paying for anyone to come out here to do all of this stuff.
Wow.
So, okay, you'll get the equipment within 3 to 5 days. Great. Just pack up the rest of the older stuff and you have to bring it to a Verizon center. Totally fine. The equipment comes. It's not their equipment anymore. Their deal is now with Google.
Oh.
I have Google Android television boxes. It wants me to log into everything with a Google account, and I don't want to do that in order to watch television. Nor should I have to if I'm paying for Verizon Fios. Go through the box. I have a video media server, a VMS I have to set up. Once that's set up and it cycles through, it took about 10 minutes for that thing to, and I can't plug it into the screen. You plug the coaxial cable into it and the internet thing into it, and that's it. And that's how it goes. Okay. Once that, you get the light on the screen on the front of there. Then you can set up the smaller top boxes. Top boxes have to go through the internet network in the house. That's through, right. All right, connect here, connect here, connect here. It's having problems connecting to the VMS thing. It's not reading the quality. The quality is terrible. I go, it's not terrible. My phone's working fine. The kid's iPad's working fine. Why are the cable boxes struggling? So now I'm back on with tech support on the phone, and then I'm reading codes and okay, recycle this, try it again. Go through the network, have it do a thing. What is it telling you? I said 64%. Oh, well, your signal's low. The box is right here, the router. There's no way their signal should be low. It's right here, right? The big Fios box is in the basement. It's like a big plastic white thing. You open it up. It looks like a Con Ed device. There's no way this should be a problem. Going through all of this stuff, recycling again, finally getting the top boxes to work. Every time I try to access something, it gives me to a Google login screen saying to sign in with your Google account or skip this time. I go, how do I permanently skip this time? I'm not sitting here and going through every basic feature and it's telling me to log in with a Google account, with a Gmail account. I don't need to, I'm not paying Google for my television, so I'm not logging in. Then it keeps trying to set up the assistant, the Google Assistant feature.
Oh, yeah.
For the box for there. we've noticed that you haven't set up the Google Assistant. How do I permanently check this off? So I don't want the Google Assistant. I don't want the voice commands on the remote, because that's all I need. If I have the voice commands on there and the kid figures it out, starts talking to the remote, and all this shit's going on, and she's buying Disney movies, that aren't streaming on Disney Plus or something. I don't want all that. So finally, I'm going through and turning it off. In the rooms, when you turn off the lights, the LED is glowing so bright. Now I'm trying to figure out how to dim the LED light on there. And it
Just
got
put
to
a little tape over it.
I go through, I find a thing on Reddit that shows you how to do this thing. I go through, I find the features. There's a million sub pages on the box. I dim the light as far as I could. I'm like, okay, that looks pretty good, until you turn the light off and you realize it still looks like a flashlight. So all the boxes are covered with electrical tape to block out the light, because otherwise, if one's in a bedroom, you can't sleep with that thing on. The video server's light is really bright, and you can't even access that to dim the LED, because that needs to stay on, because the light changes color, tells you the error problems. Black tape on everything. It looks so ghetto, but that's what it is. All this brand new equipment that's got black tape all over it just to block the LED lights, because it's so annoying.
Duct tape all over everything.
There's no DVR button on the remote. I have to go to the menu button and then scroll down a bit to click a thing that says my DVR. In order to get to my DVR, I'm like, it should be one button that takes me to the DVR page. But there's a button to take me right to the Google Assistant thing if I need. There's a thing to take me to other Google features if I need that. I don't want that shit. I'm not paying for Google. I'm paying for Fios. I should have Fios access. But alas, here it is. Got it all done, and I haven't hooked up the third box yet. I'm getting problems now. An error code showed up, and they said, well, there's supposed to be a third box on the server. Right. Well, the server's looking for the third box. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to hook it up in that other room yet. Well, that could be the problem. I go, it should not cause a problem for the other boxes and the main video server if the third wireless box is not attached. That's well, your phone can't play anything unless it has a Bluetooth speaker paired with it. No, it doesn't. That's not how it works.
Look, the greatest dragon movie, Reign of Fire, has taught me that when you're trying to triangulate something, you have to have 3 of the buoys up. Right. You didn't put your third buoy up.
No, I didn't.
You're not going to get the best quality.
You're not going to find
all 3 are talking.
See?
It's a prime number, damn it.
You're not going to trace where this signal's coming from. Is it inside the house? I don't know. That third box is not hooked up. We can't triangulate the signal.
Need. Yep. Exactly.
We don't know where the serial killer is. Well, I don't give a shit.
You should have put up your third box.
But the fucking gall, they're saying, well, because you haven't hooked up the third box yet. That's not telling you the third box is hooked up. It's not, because the box has to pair with this other system to be detected to connect to the video server. The video server is not sending out signals into deep space, hoping that some intelligent life gets it and brings it back to Earth. That's not how this works. It's working fine right now.
Love Boat reruns if I can't get the Fios to work.
Correct. This isn't being old man yells at cloud. This isn't being annoyed with change. I wanted the change. I wanted new equipment. I'm not technologically inept. I know how a lot of this shit works. I just wanted stuff that would work. And now I get new equipment, new shiny box. Oh, okay, this looks great. And you make every little detail so overly complicated and difficult. End of rant. It's working.
All right, what are you plugging, Jordan?
I still haven't hooked the third box in yet.
No, and you never will. Don't even do it.
Let's blow through the news here. Okay. A lot of segment 2 news. You take over. I've talked enough. Go ahead.
So Netflix is at it again. They're going to be raising prices. They just announced Q4 earnings results this past Tuesday and announced their biggest ever quarterly increase in subscribers, like you said earlier, with almost 19 million for the period. So they celebrate, they're raising your prices. So Netflix standard plan without ads will raise by $2.50 per month, going from $15.49 to $17.98. So it's almost $20 for the standard plan. It's been 3 years since they upped that plan, so that one makes sense. The 2 HD streams, the ad-supported tier, we're going to be $7.99 a month, up $1 from $6.99. The price of premium tier with 4 streams at a time will be up to almost $25 a month. That's up $2. And then the cost of adding an extra family member, which is now standard because you can't share your password, is increasing from $7.99 to $8.99. So if you have family members that use your service,
per person or per month?
Per person per month.
So
That's
if I wanted to add another family member, I'm spending about $8 additional per month just so they can access my account.
So if you're paying the $25 per month to have 4 simultaneous streams, those streams have to be within your house. If you have like your sister with
I know the tech part of it. I'm saying the subscription part. So I have to pay half a subscription per person to use my account.
Yep, that's the extra member to your primary account. So
I'm glad I cut my whole family off. I'm so glad.
I don't share my stuff either. So there's that. So,
it reminds me of the congestion pricing here in New York City. They finally got that up and running, and the hopes is to decrease traffic and clean up air pollution and force more people to use mass transit. And so that's went into effect. Oh, by the way, we raised the prices of mass transit too. It's like,
of course, they got to make their money.
Fuck yeah.
Because if they're not going to get your money using the toll and the congestion pricing, they're going to get their money somewhere else. They're going to get your money.
All right, next story.
Moving on. Disaster continues to hit the Los Angeles area. Vin Diesel has announced that the highly anticipated Fast X Part 2 will finish the rest of its filming in Los Angeles in an effort to provide help to the local economy after the wildfires. In an Instagram post,
is he going to drive through the fires dragging a bank safe or something?
It's all about family. Yeah, it's just a bunch of ash everywhere.
He's got a flatbed truck with the Hollywood sign as he's trying to race through the embers and the flames in order to
around fire trucks.
Trying to save it, to get it out of Southern California.
Spencer is just fucking filming shit on the side. In an Instagram post confirming the news, Diesel said he was reached out to by his fellow Fast and Furious cast member, Jordana Brewster, who was the one who came up with the idea. As a result, she's fine. Diesel said the franchise will finally return home to where they started filming.
She was on Friends too. I think she was one of Chandler's girlfriends. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember that. I think she was too young for that.
No, I think she was. You continue.
Look it up. You do your work. He quoted, "Last week during the fires that displaced LA, my sister Jordana reached out to me and said, please have Universal film the rest of Fast X Part 2 in LA, said Diesel. Los Angeles needs it now more than ever. Los Angeles is where Fast and Furious started filming 25 years ago, and now Fast will finally return home. All love." It's, whatever.
I think I'm wrong.
You are. Sometimes you just got to let you learn on your own.
No, she was on some show I used to watch. I thought it was Friends.
Are you thinking of Paget Brewster? Paget Brewster was Joey's girlfriend that ended up dating Chandler for a while.
That's probably who the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, she's on Criminal Minds, and she was
the big brain on Jordan.
Yeah, it happens. Fast X Part 2 is going to finish up filming in LA. Probably later toward the end of the year, and it's supposed to release next year at some point.
Okay.
Speaking of one of the cast members of Fast X, Jason Momoa is planning to play Lobo in the Supergirl movie. So Aquaman star Jason Momoa, he's going to be sticking with DC. He's going to appear in the new Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow as Lobo, the alien bounty hunter who first appeared in the comics in 1983. He has long wanted to play the character and has talked about it for years, including during the press rounds for The Lost Kingdom. So he was trying to get a new job while trying to get rid of his old job.
Good on Monday, for him. He got something. They kicked Cavill to the curb.
Oh, I know. It's sad. Who just had a first baby. So congrats to Superman over there.
But had the biggest and best FU after that whole nonsense where they pretty much begged him to come back. Signed him a concert and then fucked him over like that.
Right.
That he walked right over to Marvel and did an appearance in Deadpool.
Right. It was like one of the better cameos too.
Yes.
So that was good. So yeah, he's going to be Lobo in
I'm hearing rumors too that Marvel might not be done with him yet.
Oh, I hope not. bring him on.
I don't have any conclusive evidence, but some things I've been hearing, I was like, that might be good.
Yeah, maybe. Sticking with the Warner Brothers and DC universe, Batman 2 has been delayed to 2027.
It's been too long removed at this point. Who cares? Reboot it again.
It used to be where they would just fast track a movie and try to get it done. James Gunn has come out and said, look, I'm not going to greenlight anything unless the script is finished, which is good. It's a good policy.
This isn't part of the DCU.
No. So what they're doing is a whole separate DC universe called Elseworlds. So it's stories outside of the normal DCU that they're going to do. Matt Reeves' Batman is going to be part of that. The follow-up has been pushed back to 2027. It was supposed to come out next year, October 2nd, 2026, but they shifted it a year because they need to try to get it onto IMAX screens,
right,
and finish up the script and stuff like that. Big rumors that Clayface may be the protagonist, also possibly Mr. Freeze. So
be
I don't know,
great if they kept some of the characteristics of the Clayface from the Harley Quinn series, where he's a Shakespearean actor while he's doing it.
Oh, that would be great. It's still Alan Tudyk, just wrapped in mud. Sticking with Christopher Nolan, he's going to be doing a film adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey, not Homer Simpson, Homer the writer. His new film for Universal is going to be an adaptation of the epic poem composed by Homer around the 8th century BC. Nolan's latest will star Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, the newly added John Bernthal, Lupita Nyong'o, and Charlize Theron. It's a fucking stacked cast. Apparently, Tom Holland is going to be the lead, which means he's probably going to be Odysseus, which is kind of weird. He seems kind of young to be him, but we'll see.
And he doesn't seem kind of built to be.
I don't even need him to be built. I think I need him to be older.
But
I
when you
feel like
saw
Matt
those
Damon's closer to
when you saw the old movies like not Clash of the Titans. Is it Clash of the Titans a claymation movie?
Yeah, the Harryhausen.
Yeah, but when they had that and they tried to win the Odyssey thing, you had the big Greek warrior looking type of guys, and for as jacked as Tom Holland can be, he's still kind of
very
thin.
light, very thin. Yeah. So they're going to be doing that. Expected to start early next year. It's going to be his second Universal picture following Oppenheimer, so he's going to be doing a lot of that kind of stuff. Sticking with DC, Creature Commandos, the show that I want you to watch. I just finished up their season. The first season 2 weeks ago has been renewed for season 2.
Okay.
It was written and executive produced by DC Studios, James Gunn. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. I didn't know how this was going to happen. I know James Gunn is usually pretty good. Going into an animated series, I kind of was off. Just felt weird, and then it was really fun. So I really enjoyed that. I think you should check it out. It will be getting season 2, which is awesome. So,
will do.
Yeah. Frasier. I know you and I both liked the Frasier reboot. That has been canceled.
I didn't mind it. The more I was thinking
first
about
season
it,
was fun.
It was not. I like having Frasier, but it just wasn't quite the same. You didn't have Niles back when he could have, and it was just missing a lot of things. And
season 2 was weird because they started bringing back some of the older cast just to try to get that nostalgic thing. You got, Bulldog was back. They had Roz back as a feature player. And I don't know. I just feel the first season was better than the second for me, at least. They did cancel that at Paramount Plus. It's not going to go ahead with the third season.
That was going to happen.
They're going to try to shop it around. CBS Studios is looking to try to find a new home for it. I don't know how well that's going to work. If no one was going to, the problem is I think Paramount Plus is such a dead app, and no one goes there for those things.
Eventually,
you move that to like a
Netflix
or something else, you might get a wider audience. So hopefully that happens. If not, good run. It was still fun. Whatever.
Right.
Speaking of whatever, Jared Leto is now confirmed to play Skeletor in the Masters of the Universe movie. Amazon MGM Studios and Mattel's live action Masters of the Universe has announced 4 new villains for the movie. Jared Leto is confirmed for Skeletor. Sam C. Wilson, who is in House of the Dragon, is going to be Trapjaw.
Nice.
Hafthor Bjornsson, who was in Northman. He was also, I think, the Mountain in Game of Thrones. He's going to be Goatman, which I don't remember Goatman.
I don't remember Goatman at all. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the toy.
And then an actor named Kojo Ata is going to be Triclops, who I do remember. So 2 out of the 3. I don't know who Goatman is. So
yeah, I'm looking at Goatman right here, and I still swear I've never seen. I'm seeing the animation. I'm seeing the figure. I swear I've never seen this guy before ever.
Maybe he was part of the movie we don't know about. Who knows? Anaconda. Remember that terrible movie?
It don't want none unless it got buns on.
Exactly. It's based off the song. They're making a new Anaconda movie starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd. They announced it a couple weeks back.
Oh, we talked about this.
We didn't talk about it yet. You and I talked about it. We haven't gotten to segment 2 stuff in like a month.
Gotcha.
Basically, they released a video saying they're doing Anaconda this year, and it's coming out in December this year on Christmas Day, 2025, a new Anaconda movie. They announced the new project saying there's going to be a big fucking snake and it's going to rip. Paul Rudd adds, do you want to get scared? Do you want to laugh? Do you want to celebrate with your friends? Or maybe you alone, sad, and have nobody. You just want to forget about it.
Do you know the movie would probably do better if it was just called Big Fucking Snake?
That would
Big
be
effing
great.
Snake? Yeah.
Because I like Snakes on a Plane was one of my favorite movies, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
And it's just because it leaned into how bad it's going to be. And that's what they need to do.
Call it Big Effing Snake, and everyone's going to go and watch it. And like, it's ridiculous.
Rumor is that this movie is not going to be a remake of Anaconda. It's going to be about a bunch of friends, old college roommates, friends, whatever, that go into the Amazon to recreate the movie they loved, Anaconda.
Oh.
And it becomes a problem. So we'll see. I don't know. Jack Black's kind of wavering on his fucking presence now. Paul Rudd's always good, but I don't know. We'll see.
Too much too soon.
Too much all the time.
Let me do this next one real quick, because I've mentioned it in a couple different places.
Right.
I talked about how like a week after the election in November, NBC had a big all hands on deck meeting. And they announced that they were moving all their cable entities to a separate company within Universal, but separate from NBC and NBC News,
right.
Even though they're NBC properties, which were MSNBC, CNBC, Golf TV, USA Network, Bravo, and whatever else they have. And a lot of people were freaking out because they thought this seems like a move that they're looking to sell all their cable outlets.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're going to sell something like that, what's the first thing that happens? Mass layoffs to whittle it down so that it looks attractive enough to purchase with your budget. Well, they haven't done that yet. Doesn't mean it's not happening, but they have moved these networks to this blanket company, and there's a different head overseeing them. Not sure if MSNBC and CNBC can keep their name because of the NBC stuff in there. They might have to rebrand. We don't know yet. It's still ongoing. But it was starting to show something that we've talked about for a while, that the networks are starting to realize that their cable identity doesn't mean much anymore. Networks on their own, and even movie companies on their own, started to realize as an individual entity, this wasn't going to work. They needed to pair up. So every television network has a movie component. They all have the streaming services, and they had their cable channels. Well, they're starting to realize the cable channels aren't that important anymore. What does this have to do with what I'm talking about here? Paramount, which is owned by Viacom, the parent company. But Paramount's overseeing this stuff along with CBS. I think Paramount oversees CBS now at this point, except CBS News. I think everything CBS Entertainment is overseen by Paramount. They've announced that MTV, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, and BET are no longer high priorities to this new merger that's happening with Skydance. You remember Paramount was looking to be sold. We thought it was going to go to Warner Brothers at one point.
Yeah.
And I think Sony was also throwing their hat in to maybe purchase the Paramount library. And then this deal came around with Skydance. They're starting to realize that their cable outlets aren't what they used to be. MTV's not worth anything. Comedy Central, as much as, news and publicity it gets with Jon Stewart back on Mondays.
That's it, though.
Yeah. South Park didn't have a season last year. They had one special, and that was on Paramount. That wasn't even on television. So South Park's been missing for a year. And then I don't know. I think there's another 6 episodes or something coming this year, though. But you don't have your big moneymaker of South Park anymore doing much of this stuff. Daily Show is not what it used to be. Nickelodeon, I find a bit surprising because I thought kids still watch that with SpongeBob and what have you. But this looks like another thing where corporations are reorganizing and restructuring that, hey, we're going to start selling off our cable channels. And maybe, who knows, maybe this goes the way of what I said about radio, that there's too many companies that own all the radio stations. The only way you're going to rejuvenate radio is to sell them back to individual owners or eccentric millionaires or something like that, people who will take a chance on a radio station to do outrageous stuff and make, take risks and make changes that are needed in order to reinvigorate interest in programming and what have you. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is the same thing that'll happen with cable channels. They sell these things off to other companies, other people, and people start putting, maybe everything turns into UHF. They just start putting batshit crazy programming on there.
Spatula City.
Because they're not run by they're not overseen by the FCC.
Right.
So you can put whatever the fuck you want on there. But this is the next stage in that now Paramount, CBS are looking at their cable properties and saying, hey, none of this is important anymore. And it'll be a matter of time before Disney starts announcing that too, with all of their stuff. I mean, at one point, ESPN may not have been that important to them because ESPN was costing them so much money. But that's the projections for the next 2 years to see what these networks do with their cable channels and if any of these things will even last anymore.
Right.
Letterkenny.
Mm-hmm.
Something I thoroughly enjoy. I know you enjoy it. Where were you at with Shoresy? Did you like Shoresy?
I like Shoresy. I need to catch up with Shoresy. I think
you didn't see the final season?
No.
Okay.
I think I got through season 2. So
okay. So well, it was it was billed as the final season. The last episode was a big surprise because right when you were trying to figure out what the hell this is what's going to happen,
right?
It looks like all right, they're all getting a happy ending, and then it's winding down. All of a sudden, it cuts to another thing here. Shoresy will be back. So this wasn't the final season.
No, it wasn't.
When they thought it was, they shot it as if it was.
Yeah. But
then I guess something happened between production completion and the launch. They're like, no, we're going to do another thing here. And it shows that the show Shoresy, which is the spinoff from Letterkenny, has been renewed for a 5th season.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 3 seasons out right now. So that means there's a 4th season that was shot or contracted or whatever and is going to be shot. Was greenlit by Canadian streamer Crave and comes before the puck drops to the hockey-focused series 4th season of 6 episodes, February 26th. So exciting, which will be available in the United States and everywhere else on Hulu. So,
looks
that's
like
production
be good.
For the 5th season will start in the spring of 2025, which is fantastic.
We thought we were only getting 3 seasons. Now we're getting 5. Now, and I don't like that it's only 6 episodes, but if they're hour-long episodes, I don't know. That'd be great. I don't know if there'll be an hour-long episode, but I'd rather have 6 more on a season 4 than not have it at all. So
correct.
I'm not gonna get greedy.
All right. Happy with that. All right. What's the next one here? We're 28 years later.
So 28 years later, they dropped a trailer for it a little while ago, and everyone was speculating whether or not Cillian Murphy was going to come back. Well, it's been announced Cillian Murphy will not appear in 28 years later. They're going to have to wait a little longer. 28 Days Later franchise is doing a 3rd movie. They're making a trilogy after this out of this new little grouping of movies.
Right.
So the Oscar winners involved in the upcoming threequel, as they're calling it, as an executive producer. 28 years later, their other producer, Andrew McDonald, is saying that he wanted to be involved but won't appear in the film, which premieres this summer on June 20th. On this, we wanted him to be involved, and we wanted to be involved. He's not in the first film, but we're hoping there will be some time somewhere along the line, or Jim somewhere along this character name. So they're doing a 2nd movie, which will be out next year, and then a 3rd movie, which will be directed by the director of this movie. They're hoping to get him in that one. So they're making 3 more of these movies when, they waited 20 years between the 2nd and this one. So, but he's not in it. Everyone who keeps saying that he was in the trailer, that's not him. So he will not be in it. Did you ever watch The Righteous Gemstones?
I love that show. I've been waiting for 4th season, I think.
So the 4th season is coming, and it will be the final season. So Righteous Gemstones will end its run on HBO with its upcoming 4th season. The comedy series is renewed for season 4 back in July of 2023. The premiere date has not been set, but the final episodes will begin starting to air in March. The Lord spoke to me and said it's time to wrap this sucker up, series creator and star Danny McBride said. The story of the season has made the themes, ideas, and characters in The Righteous Gemstones feel whole and complete. I have loved every second of working on this team for the past 8 years, and there are some incredible payoffs, twists, and turns in store over the course of this wild final season. So this will be the last season that's coming up. Great show. I love it.
Fantastic
I love Walton
show.
Goggins in it. Walton Goggins is hilarious. John Goodman's. It's
I'm your daddy. You're not my daddy. Yeah, I'm your daddy now. You're not my daddy. We're not daddy. You're not my daddy. I'm not my daddy. It's like, they're so dumb. What was it? Baby Billy Bible Bumpers?
Yeah,
Bible
like
Busters?
Bible Busters or something like that. Yeah, he's so good. I that's one I might actually go back because there was a big gap between this last season and season 4. So I kind of want to just maybe
I'll
go
tell
back
you what
and
was
watch.
dragging on me, the younger sibling. The guy from what was he from? Was he from Silicon Valley?
I believe so. No, he was the guy. Remember, did you see
It was some kind of office show that he was on.
Yeah, he was on the I forget. There was like 3 dudes in it. He was also in he played Bumper in the Pitch Perfect movies. For all of you that actually watch those movies.
I've never seen those movies.
Yeah, he's
at all.
Yeah, he's kind of annoying. So, but yeah, he's in that. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up on season 4, and then
Workaholics. That's what
Workaholics.
It was in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last story we got Robert Eggers, the director of Northman and Nosferatu. He is set now to do a Labyrinth sequel. So the day after Focus Features announced a new movie that he's also doing called Werewolf, which is set to be his next film. He will also now be writing and directing a new Labyrinth film. Plot details for Labyrinth are under wraps, but we're told the film is set to be a sequel rather than a remake.
Does Disney not own that?
It's a Jim Henson thing. So I think Disney may have been producer or has the rights to it now, but originally it was a Jim Henson production.
I know it was a Jim Henson, but I thought Disney bought the Jim Henson company.
I don't know how that works, but he is set to write and direct. So he's writing the script with Jean, his collaborator, from the 2022 Viking movie.
Guess who owns it?
Who?
Shout.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
It says the Jim Henson company produced the film in 1986, and Shout Studios currently has the exclusive rights to it.
Interesting. Oh, because I know Shout just put out a new 4K set, like a huge set, like that was very expensive.
Yeah, the production was done by Henson Associates and Lucasfilms Limited.
Okay, that's probably
it was distributed by TriStar, which I think is Sony.
Sony, yeah.
Yeah. The Disney company bought the distribution rights to the Jim Henson Company library in 1991. However, the Jim Henson's children sold the company to EMTV in 2000.
So basically, Disney can put out the movies, like they can distribute and like stream them and all that stuff, but they can't control whether or not a sequel gets made.
Right, I guess not.
Interesting. So he's writing with his old writing partner from The Northman, who's also working on a new movie that they're doing called Werewolf. Werewolf is a story set in 13th century England. The script also features dialogue that was true to the time period and has translations and annotations for those uninitiated in Old English. Eggers takes on Gothic vampire take of Nosferatu, is the highest grossing movie of his career. It has passed 156 million worldwide since Christmas Day and is now going into its 8th weekend at the box office and also hit video on demand. So he is now blowing up as a director. He's still making weird stuff. I don't know about Labyrinth. That seems a little too mainstream for him. Mm-hmm. He's been making all these little offshoot movies and these time period things. Labyrinth seems just kind of weird. Like when it's like, you got a guy who's just too good for something.
Right.
And then they decide, let's just throw money at him to do a high profile thing. I don't know about that. But Werewolf sounds cool. Nosferatu was good. I like his other movies. So, we'll see.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Next week, let's make some notes here. We got to talk about the latest information that we got on analytics for involving streaming and podcasting.
Right.
The Boar's Head updates. We got to do McValue and Sabrina Carpenter's Dunkin' Donuts promotion. A lot to get to next week. But in the meantime, that is the music for... I forgot. Plugs. I spaced on it. I'm tired.
I thought you were like talking about in the meantime, and I was like, it's Space Hog.
Go ahead.
If you want to catch me on Blue Sky, Instagram, X, all that fun stuff, go to at Jinxed Ronan, Twitch, Jinxed Ronan 79. If you've got Amazon Prime and you want to throw your free subscription over on Twitch to anybody, come do it to us. It's Eric Nagel.
Throw your Prime at us.
Throw your free Prime at us. Just throw it out there. But it helps the show.
All kinds of beverages.
It cost you nothing extra. I didn't get to the fact that they announced that Nine Inch Nails is officially coming out, and I will be getting more concert tickets, Eric. So.
As gay? Wow, good on that.
Yeah, coming out. So can't wait. But yeah, fun stuff.
All right. For me, that's not you. That's
still me.
Yeah, there we go. For me and the show and everything, it's Eric Nagel across the board on all the social medias. If you're listening to us at your own free time on Apple, Spotify, do us a kindness. Go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. If you want to join us live each and every week as we do the program, head over to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Like and subscribe. It's for free. Turn on your notifications. That also helps. And come over there, tell two friends so they can tell two friends, et cetera, et cetera. And it does help out the growth of the program. And I think that's it, right? We're out of here?
That's it. We're done.
Good. Okay.
You guys got 3 hours out of us.
Yes. So until the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other.
We'll be seeing.
It's Eric Nagel.
Well, I feel like I'm your daddy. I am all y'all's daddy.
Not my daddy.
You're not my daddy.
No, my daddy.
Hush, now I'm your daddy.
You ain't my daddy, boy.
Yes, I am.
me.
You are not our daddy. I am your daddy.
Not a daddy.
You ain't my daddy.
Hush! I said I'm your daddy.
You ain't my daddy. Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell two friends so they can tell two friends, and they can tell two friends, they can tell two friends, they can tell two friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.